Yeah, you know with KD and laughing stock, niggas got that voice. In this crazy world, we gotta make a choice. They say Elijah swishy, but we're making noise from the top of the charts. Here the people rejoice. Stop being buck munchers, just get swishy with us. Join the laughter wave, make a fuss. Stop being buck munchers, just get swishy with us. Join the laughter wave, make a fuss.
Whoa, boy, look who it is again. It's the fucking Squishy Logic boys.
It is indeed.
I, Keir Starmer, have a problem with that. Those guys keep talking about me as if I'm boring.
No, we don't talk about Keir Starmer as if he's boring, because we don't really talk about Keir Starmer.
No, because he's boring.
He is one of the most boring world leaders
Ever,
man. Like, right now, obviously, it's hard to compare because there are so many balls-to-the-wall politicians that you just look at and you're like, 20 years ago, you would have never been anywhere near this place.
No.
And I mean, like, Trump, I would say Zelensky's up there too, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's been a lot more views on the clip we put out from the last podcast about his stand-up stuff. And a lot more people have seen it now, so you understand. Yeah,
It's weird, isn't it?
it's weird.
It's almost like they don't seem like jokes. I mean, I'm sure in the cultural landscape of Ukraine, they're probably funnier. But from us, it was just like, he's just almost just like saying stuff that seems a little bit almost like...
Glorifying Nazis or something.
A little bit in certain moments.
Yeah, I wasn't bothered by it at all or anything. It was just like, if you imagine if Trump was saying this kind of stuff before he ran for president.
Yeah, that'd be
He'd be
weird.
destroyed for it.
Speaking of which, actually, I wanted to bring this up last time, but I completely forgot about it. Did you see that Bill Maher had a dinner with Trump?
Oh, I heard about this because he was one of his. He was always against everything he said.
He's
Bill Maher was.
He's always been against Trump. He's a lifelong Democrat, but he's like one of those Democrats who isn't crazy. You know, he's one of the ones who's tried very hard to be a centrist and like maintain like communication.
Yeah, he'd be like actually us if we was doing that kind of stuff.
Essentially, yeah.
We'd actually be trying to think of
ways to talk to people. And like this is the thing as well. He was like, "Oh, I'm going to have a meal with Trump. We're going to sit down and have a dinner." And everyone was like, "Oh, how could you? Oh, what would you do that for?
Yeah.
Oh, how dare you?" And he was like, "I'm talking to a motherfucker. What the fuck?"
He literally does a podcast.
Yeah,
like
where he
that,
talks
but
to
without
people.
the camera.
Yeah.
It's no different.
I mean, what the fuck are we doing here,
A lot of people
guys?
seem to have this idea that if you don't agree with somebody's policies, you shouldn't
Talk to them at all. They're the devil.
Be the enemy.
Yeah.
You just shouldn't.
You shouldn't treat them like another human being. You should instantly dehumanize them to the point where you think it would be okay to run them over.
Even though that we have learned many times through history that to really beat someone, if you've got an enemy, you want to beat them.
Yeah.
You can't beat them until you understand them.
That's true.
Like Game of Thrones.
You need to
will prove
understand where these ideas for his policies come from. To be able to deconstruct them, to be able to put your point across of why your idea is better. And if you can't fucking do that, if you don't have it within you to sit down and have a fucking conversation with someone, then you don't deserve to be running a fucking country.
Did you see how complimentary he was after though about it? Which he was like all the stuff he said about all the things he didn't like. None of that was there.
Yeah, he was like, I've watched the entire thing. He's like, all of that thing, all that bravado, all of that noise, all of that look at me. None of that was there. It was just two guys hanging out. I saw him laugh. I don't think I've ever seen him laugh on the entire time.
I heard him say he felt more comfortable talking to him.
Yeah.
He feels like he ever could with any other president.
Yeah, like Bill Clinton, any of the others.
Maybe Bill Clinton would be the next one up, I reckon.
Well, maybe, but like...
I wouldn't be surprised. I reckon you could have a laugh with Bill Clinton.
But the fact is, like, I've heard multiple people now go like, "Oh, well, why would you want to sit down? I don't think it's worth having a conversation." It's always worth having a conversation. It is always worth having a fucking conversation.
See, hence why one of the things I really agree with Trump is why he will go and have conversations with Putin, with Kim Jong, whoever's in charge now. You know, like...
These people have nuclear weapons.
It's democratic ways of...
And these people have nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Good idea.
To have a conversation, to have a talking relationship with someone who can wipe out a city with a button press.
But then, of course,
fuck's sake.
But then in the same breath, though, he'll be pissing off China non-stop.
Mm-hmm.
Or he's in a full-on trade war with them right now.
Oh, massive trade war.
And that's
massive
essentially,
trade war.
from what I think I've heard over the last 10 years, that was always the way that a big war was going to really play out.
They're increasing the price on PlayStation 5s and Switches.
Yeah, well,
and
that's
things
why
like
it's
that.
lovely to have it to be an Xbox boy now.
Because of the trade, but not just in America. They're increasing the prices everywhere, so everyone basically pays an extra bit so the Americans can get it cheaper.
Well, yeah. So China's
no, literally, the companies are subsidizing the American ones by making it more expensive across the globe instead of just in America.
That's Japan, isn't it? A lot of them? So yeah.
But they all get their chips from China.
Why?
All of the Switches are actually made in China, and then they're just shipped out to other
Switches.
countries.
What about like Sony and that?
And PlayStation, same thing.
Yeah,
it's all made in China. All of it is made in China.
Okay. so at the same time, though, that's not China's fault, though. That's the other countries being like, we want to keep our money.
That's the companies.
They all do that.
We want to make sure that we've got the American market, because the American market is so important to games.
Yeah.
Like, if they lose that market by having their things suddenly skyrocket $200 in price, no one's going to fucking buy them.
Would you say that, though? But they'll still, like, do an Xbox Pass. They'll do...
I mean, that's the thing, though.
There's nothing to...
This is the thing. Xbox
is the only thing...
Xbox is sitting fucking pretty.
I see, yeah, that's the one they'll lose it to, is Xbox.
Because Xbox is sat there going, we have all of our servers in America. All of our servers are in America. They've already been paid for. We don't have to send out any hardware. We just have to make our own hardware, which we're quite capable of doing here at Microsoft.
I mean, you don't really need to. You could again if people stop buying all the other consoles.
Yeah, but all we need to do now is just go, oh, well, you don't want to spend fucking £500 on a PlayStation 5.
Blame you guys.
Just connect onto Xbox Game Pass and have a whale of a time. We've got fucking so many extra games coming out. We've got Oblivion coming soon. Fucking
you got Day One Doom Dark Ages.
That's going to be fucking rad as fuck as well. That looks so good.
I've played so many. I haven't bought a game the day it came out in fucking years.
I don't see the point
Could
anymore.
be decades.
To me,
at least a decade probably.
Subscription stuff is the only thing I really do anymore.
This was before that.
Yeah.
I've only been into that within the last year.
Yeah,
I just didn't buy new games.
This is the thing. I used to buy games quite a lot. This is why it's changed for me quite substantially. Because I used to, when I was a PC gamer mainly on Steam, I would just buy a game here.
I have access
there.
to your account. I can see how much you bought.
So many games.
So many games, man.
Quite a lot of them in bundles as well. So it's like, here's a £15 bundle with 20 games in it. Fuck yeah, I'm buying that. Fuck yeah.
I never would. I kind of understand it now though, because I'm playing like so many new games on Xbox and that I kind of wish I tried a lot of these cheap random games, because there's not just day one good games on there, like full games, like South of Midnight.
There's indie shit in there now.
South of Midnight was a great game. I don't know if that's indie, but that's a great full game that's just come out.
It was going to be an indie game, but then Xbox came along and went, here's a big fuck chunk of money.
And they went, good.
All right.
It's such a good game, and I'd never heard of it. A lot of my gamer mates haven't heard of it because they're not Xbox, they're PlayStation.
And it's a very story-based, adventure game.
It's very great. You get the feels and everything, but then you fly around. It's very Devil May Cry kind of.
That shit is legit.
Fighting.
That's Game of the Year shit, because it's like...
Cool.
It's proper art.
Yeah,
you know
it is.
I mean?
There's so much art to it.
Like the animation style alone is beautiful. I've not played it, but
some of the stuff, like some of the characters, and sometimes when stuff happens, the frame rate of certain things goes lower than the rest of the stuff. It's so cool because it's got like a puppet kind of style every now and then. It's really cool. But not too much about that though. There's Atomfall, which is also a great game that came out day one on
Indiana
Xbox.
Jones.
Indiana Jones came out day one.
There's going to be Oblivion, as I say, coming out day one, full remaster. So if you were into Skyrim, fucking get into Oblivion, because fuck me, is that a good game?
Yeah, great, sure.
Mate, there's so many things.
Oh, you know I'm not into
Oblivion is fucking crazy. There's so many weird fucking stories and plots going on in that game.
It's all just...
You can become a vampire. You can become a vampire, right? And then when you're out in the day, you literally burn alive.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea.
It's so
half the time in the game you can't play.
You literally can't play it.
Burn.
Yeah.
What a great game!
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I'm sure you can fast time it, can't you? To oh, you can.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, you can.
That's a bit better. But that's still stupid.
Yeah.
Because then you're just sleeping through every day. You may as well. You're basically turning into a teenager when you're playing that game as a vampire.
Yeah. Yeah, essentially, yeah.
Teenager,
you're a goth kid.
By teenager, I mean me. Sleep pattern-wise, anyway. But there's also, like you said, the indie games. I've just started playing one that's just come out as well.
And you can buy games and play them on the fucking thing now.
Crime Scene Cleaner, what I've been playing lately.
Oh, I bet that's fun, actually. Yeah.
The first place I went to, it took so long to clean up all the blood.
Yeah.
Collect all the I found so many bodies that they didn't tell me were there. Yeah. They're lucky because I was going to leave and I was like, oh, what's in this little bit? Because I could have left.
Yeah.
There's only certain things you have to do. But I found a whole number of crime scenes, so I saved them to shit.
Saved them some serious trouble with the law.
Yeah. I come in and I stop them from getting done.
Yeah.
And I'm also playing a game where you go, there's a mansion, there's 46 rooms in it, but every time you go to a room, it changes. So you pick what room goes there out of the 3 it gives you. Right. And you've got to build 46 rooms, I think it is, in this grid to be able to get to the last room. And
so it's
fucking hard.
It's kind of like a roguelike kind of thing then.
I'll show you later because it's a really easy game.
It's really interesting, actually. It's quite good.
It piqued the evil hippie's interest.
Yeah.
I said it to him. He was like, and he put it on. And he kept wanting to do because like, fucking, this is so annoying.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's impossible, man.
One of the ones that people love playing is Pressure Washer Simulator. Yeah. Apparently that's one that people can spend just hours playing.
There's a pressure washer on the criminal game that you can get, and then you can get the blood off a lot easier. You have to keep going and refilling it, though, with the water source. It's cool. You'd enjoy it.
I bet I would, actually. But you
should probably mention to everyone that this is Squidgy Logic. I am your comedic babyface and everybody's favourite laughing stock, KD Hinken. Full of wrestling content right now after WrestleMania weekend.
He's been watching a wrestling.
Oh man, I am just spouting in the nasal
and cavities. He did it. He only went and did it. He's got himself the titles.
We'll press on that a bit later on because not everybody's so into wrestling. We know this.
Yeah, we'll put that at the end as a little bit of a like. If you want to stick around for the wrestling, you can.
Yeah. It was great. I've got opinions. I'm also going to I've got opinions about Doctor Who that I want to mention later too, because I have opinions about the new series. Is it positive? Is it negative? I'll let you know. Did you watch the new stuff?
I haven't seen any of it for
Then
ages.
I'll let you know as well.
Yeah.
But before that, we have the main topic, of course, as always, to get into, which will be hosted this week by the man on my left. He is the man with 1,000 voices, and not all of them are in his, I can't remember, head, bum, somewhere.
Head, butthole, nose, eyes, ears.
He is the head pope of the comedy.
I'm just squirting voices out of all my orifices at the moment. It's horrible.
There's one coming out of his butt going, help me, because he is the head pope of the comedy parish, and now the only pope that's going right now, he is Mr. Pope Francis Nathan
and
Parish.
I'm open, if you fancy just, a fresh take on the whole pope vibe, I'm free.
And when he dies, we don't have to hit him on the head with a hammer as well.
I'm not gonna be, fiddling any altar boys or anything, so that's a bonus right there.
To be fair, this last pope though probably didn't do that either.
I get the feeling he didn't.
I
get the feeling he didn't.
Time.
Yeah, he was all right. This pope.
I don't know about that. He was there 3 years. I don't know what time he had. 3 years. He was in hospital for one of them.
Yeah, he's not had a great time.
He's really not.
No, it's almost if electing people into positions of power in their 80s. Might not be a great idea.
But people over 80 cannot vote the new pope, though. Only the cardinals that are below 80
can vote the new pope.
Which is ironic, because they always vote in somebody that's, over 80.
Did you see there was that movie that came out recently, for the whole conclave thing? And honestly, I really wanted to watch it. I was planning on watching it in the cinema, but once again, I just fucking missed it.
I read a whole book, which I think we said at the time we were talking.
Yeah, it might be the same, but yeah.
Because I read this whole book ages ago, 10 years ago, and it was really thick. It was proper small print.
Yeah.
And it was just all about a pope dying and then everything that goes into it. And there was obviously storylines going on at the same time.
Yeah, and there's various people. There's an American guy who wants it to go one way, and there's a different guy who wants it to go a different way. And
it was so interesting, all the stuff that they do.
Yeah, because it is legit crazy.
This Pope, though, has broken away a lot of the stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they normally get buried in 3 coffins. They're like, I can't remember what it is. There's like one, there's an elk one, there's like a lead one, and then something else. One, they're in the one, then the one's put into the other, and the one's put into the other one.
Chinese Russian.
Exactly like
Chinese
that.
nesting popes.
And then they're buried in the Vatican.
Russian nesting pope. Why did I say Chinese?
I don't know. Because everything's made in China, to be fair. Probably too.
The Vatican's sitting there, they get one of those phishing emails of like, we're a Chinese company, we're really interested in making Vatican level fucking caskets for popes. Are you interested in purchasing anything from Xijin Corporation?
It's supposed to be 3, and it was just 1. A little bit thicker. But he's the first one to be buried in just 1 coffin.
Yeah.
He's also being buried outside of the Vatican, I heard, which is not normal. I'm wondering if he was only there 3 years.
Yeah.
Apparently, they don't do the hammer on the head anymore.
To check that he's dead.
To check that that's genuinely... They hit the hammer on the head and then say their christened, baptised name 3 times, and if they don't answer, they're like, okay, he's dead.
It's almost better to get a doctor to do it, isn't it?
They did admit that apparently last time, in 2022, they got ECG.
Oh, what a fucking surprise.
Which is like, yeah, that's probably a better way.
It's probably a better way to use modern technology. What a surprise. Religion once again.
To be fair, he spent so long out of the coffin and stuff.
Yeah.
So they must preserve him and all that. It was so easy to murder a pope because they do so much straight away to preserve them. To make sure.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do an autopsy on him.
I don't think that's even
It'd be
allowed.
so easy to just
I don't even know if that's allowed.
Yeah.
From the classic things. I mean, they do all they do was an ECG, so they weren't checking how he died.
Yeah.
This one was from
I mean,
a
this guy
stroke.
did go pretty quick. I mean, it's
From a stroke, this guy was. That's what killed him in the end. But
there's lots of ways to induce a stroke.
Exactly. There are.
Like, there's so many ways to induce a stroke.
And if you think that's never happened in the Vatican...
Oh, you are an idiot.
Oh, there's so much politicking.
That's one of the things about that book and the movie is like this shit goes on all the time. The Vatican is not one single entity like everyone likes to think it is. It's like a political government. It's like the CIA. No, you're right. It is more like the CIA. Yeah. There are so many factions within it who are aiming for this goal, that goal, that goal, this goal, that goal, and some of them overlap and they interact. And then there's the Swiss Guard, who are completely different. Fucking
really are like their own CIA over there.
Like entirely, they can do so much shit.
Whatever
in the Vatican.
Fuck they want.
Yeah.
There's a whole story about that girl that went disappearing. In the Vatican area during the time that happened,
right.
And there was a few different things. Then the Pope, when he talked to the parents at one point, said something to them about when she was still missing. Said something about, I'm sorry that she's buried, or I know that she's buried in the ground, or something like that. Somebody said, I know she's dead. Oh, they were like, what?
The Vatican Guard did something. Sorry, we don't have control over them. Essentially,
I think it might even have been before he was Pope as well.
Yeah,
It went on for a while. Obviously, a lot of people thought she might have been dead, but there was no... She wasn't...
There was no proof.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's secrets they do not want you to see in the Vatican.
Oh, yeah.
And if you get into certain places in the Vatican without permission...
Oh, you're dead.
You're dead.
Yeah, you will never be heard from again.
Yeah.
They say, it's hilarious, they say that the Vatican archives are now open for everybody. It's the same as those people that come up on the adverts that say, oh, it's so funny, people in UK don't realise that weed has been legal since 2017.
Yeah. If you've got £100,000, you can get in there for an hour. Sure.
Oh, what, the Vatican?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and you also need to know exactly
what it is
you want, and they will give you that.
And that's it.
And
if you ask for anything else, even slightly not the way they describe it, you don't get it because we don't have that.
It's not like in the freaking Da Vinci. It wasn't Da Vinci Code. I think it was Angels and Demons. It's not like that where you can just be left to just look.
Let's put it this way: it's not like searching in Google on a Google search engine where you say this phrase and it gives you 1,000 different entries that are sort of vaguely related to the thing you typed in. It's like when you were searching on a fucking computer back in Windows 95 and you had to type in -run C -home -desktop -this -- like fucking you had to type it in exactly right, otherwise the computer goes, program doesn't exist, mate. It's like fucking ridiculous shit.
Have you seen the thing about they said that like there's a warehouse, like a big kind of mine or something. It was some place like that, like a big mine. I'm sure it was actually somewhere.
Yeah.
That holds every bit of documentation of everything that's happened in America, like everything. There's like is like written down in this place on paper.
Right.
And they're talking about digitizing it all. It's like the size of like Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Where they have that giant
warehouse shit.
It was described as that.
Yeah.
And that's real.
I mean, to be fair, why wouldn't you digitize that? It seems like a fucking thing to digitize.
A lot earlier would have been a better idea, though.
Yeah.
Not now.
Yeah.
Now that there's already all that. How are they going to do it in weeks? What
are they going to do with a warehouse full of shit?
Burn it.
Yeah, probably.
Probably. I mean, it's probably the best thing to do. Big old fire. Or bury it. It's a mine.
Yeah.
They don't know where. We don't know where.
Bury
obviously.
that motherfucker deep. Like Atari cartridges.
But ironically, talking about bury that motherfucker deep, let's get on to your topic. All about sex.
Getting buried deep.
Buried deep in the hole.
So I've I was triggered onto this because Matilda was talking to me the other day about something that's happening at her work, right?
Okay.
One of her friends at work has found herself in the lucky position of finding herself what is called a pay pig.
Okay, it's like a sugar daddy.
It's weirder than that.
Okay.
So, like, a sugar daddy, as you know, is someone who will pay for you to go out for nice meals, maybe buy you car, maybe all this kind of stuff, for access to the poontang.
Yes, okay,
you know?
Okay.
The pay pig is a different vibe.
Right.
Because a pay pig doesn't want that. They want you to control them financially and treat them like dirt.
Okay, I think I've seen some of this that explains something that I've seen about on TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is apparently a thing. It's a type of BDSM called financial domination. And it's basically just, you can ask for me for money whenever you want and I'll give it to you.
I'm not rich.
And all you have to do in return is embarrass me.
A lot of people say, I've heard people talk about this without going into that much detail.
Yeah.
But talk about it as if it's a woman taking advantage of the guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound like it.
No, the guy is very much enjoying himself.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty fair relationship.
Yeah. This guy knows exactly what it is he's doing, and he's got a lot of money, and he's choosing to spend it in a way that benefits some other people. In a weird way, but...
whenever you buy something, you're benefiting someone else.
Yeah. It's so strange.
Whatever rich people are into, I guess.
I
mean, if they have some weird, kind of fantasy about making money and they're like, this person... I don't understand. Surely they've got a wife that can embarrass them.
Well, I mean, you start to find out when...
One thing I've learned from my recent relationships is that being embarrassed by them is like a key thing that they want to do.
Yeah.
Embarrass you all the time.
One of the things I've found about, like, most of this sexual stuff is, like, there's layers to it, you find out. It's like, people talk about cucking all the time. And, like, most people's mind of someone getting cucked is just them watching someone fuck the wife and then... That's it. They're just embarrassed by it and that kind of stuff. That's one
much more understandable way of it.
That's one type of cucking. That
makes a lot more sense. Because at least you're involved, you're there, it's not behind your back, there's no bullshit.
But there's another one, which is wanting the person to get fucked in front of you so that you can then fuck them afterwards to be like, yeah, this is what a real fucking's like. Because these people...
want to hope your person shit does.
Yeah, no, but not even that. It's like these people are the kinds of people who are so narcissistic and deluded that they assume they are the best at everything at all times. And it's part of that for them. They're like, I'm proving I'm better than that person. Look how hot that person is and I'm still better than them. I'm still better than them.
I'm not going to lie, when I was a slag, I think I had some of that. I think there was some of that in there because I don't understand it now how it used to think that everybody deep down wanted to bang me.
Yeah.
But I think it's just kind of maybe a thing you put into your head to do it.
I think so. I think it's also sort of... It's part of the mentality is like, if you have that mentality, you are more likely to end up having sex with more people because you're inherently more confident. Being confident is like 90% of the issue most of the time.
Yeah, man, it's like honest, and you disguise yourself into thinking it's okay as well because you're telling them, I'm only going to fuck you. I'm not. It's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, so you feel like you've built in this clause
and then you
already.
keep doing it, and then it's obvious that one of you is, as it always does, you know.
Yeah. But there's different ways of dealing with sex in culture.
There are many different ways.
And I thought, well, let's take a little dive through various types of sexual weirdness. In a little dip. We've got 3 main stories and loads of little bits here and there that we can just dip into as and when. So, let's talk first of all about one of the most interesting ones that I've found. Now, I got most of these from a blog called lovebites.co from a Dr. Tara. Many thanks to Dr. Tara.
.co, what's that?
It's just the name of the website. It's just .co.
Oh, no, it's a domain.
.co.uk, it's just .co.
Yeah, well, they're normally a country or something.
That's what I thought. I don't know what CO is, though.
Colombia?
Maybe.
Could be Colombia.
So
I've seen some weird ones on somebody. I'm like, why do these countries even bother? But they do. Honestly, they all do.
Yeah.
It shocked me. It shocked me.
And a lot of them have to put the .co something else because someone else has already got the previous one. And then
a lot of them just put like .de, whatever.
Yeah, some of them do. Yeah.
Yeah, some need to do it though. Yeah. Depending. Some just do
I wonder if
ones.
Ukraine got to it first, and that's why we don't have just .uk.
Yeah, you might be right.
You know.
You might be fucking right. I never thought about that.
That might
actually.
legit be it.
Yeah.
Because I can see our fucking government being like, this internet thing is never going to catch on.
Yeah, we take a while. Yeah. And why should we debate now? I don't know.
Right. So, first of all, let me take you to the island of Mangia.
Okay.
Traditionally known as Aua'a Ena. Aua'a Ena.
Aua'a Ena, that's like how they say it in their language. Yeah. Okay,
traditionally. Cool. An island that is the home of a tribe known as the Aviaki. Or Avaiki.
Mike's just fucking travelling. I don't know I don't know what it's doing today.
The island was first discovered by Europeans on the 29th of March in 1777.
Oh, wow.
With the arrival of no less than Captain James Cook.
Oh, it's not that late then. I always think that's really late, and I forget that's America coming together time.
Yeah, it's
which is still really late.
I mean, it's not modern, but like at least they knew vaguely what they were doing with black powder and sail. You know?
Yeah.
Like the world was becoming
The world
discovered.
was, I mean, most of the other world was like pretty, it was getting along pretty well.
Yeah.
America wouldn't be anything without the other world, basically.
No,
it would be
America
nothing.
wouldn't exist without the French, for a start.
And the American.
Because the French just kept giving them guns.
Oh, okay.
The French are like, oh, we don't like the fucking British. Have all these weapons.
It's so weird.
Shoot those fucking stupid roast beefs. I don't like them.
It's so weird how we used to have all those, like, you know, fights around our borders and shit.
Yeah.
And now it's like Russia and all them. I don't know why it's so chill around us now.
Well, it's because Europe settled after a while because just like everyone was just like, okay, we've been this way for like a good few hundred years. We're all socialised now.
Yeah,
let's just
chill.
Call it quits. Let's chill.
Chill out a bit.
Whilst in various places in like India and like the Middle East and Africa and places like that, they're like, no, motherfucker, I'm still deciding where this fucking line is.
The Middle East stuff, I don't see how that's ever going to change as it is. Just because of the archaic, you can't change the religion.
And it's
the
also like there's so much bad blood between all of the various countries.
Because of it, because of that religious shit.
And
there's so many different, like, you know, the Sunnis and Sharis, they're all over.
But like the Egyptians don't like the Libyans that much. The Libyans don't like the Iranians that much. The Iranians don't like this. It's all over the fucking place. They just don't fucking like each other for one fucking reason or another.
Tiny fucking differences as well. Initially, and then obviously all the shit that's been done in the time since.
Well, exactly. And also
over that, we've learned.
Yeah, and also it's weird because like we think of the Middle East again as like, oh well, it's Muslims, but like there's so many different types of Muslims in these different countries.
Yeah, so many,
and so many different ones of them fight each other in the same way that they were fighting in fucking Ireland during the fucking.
The Sunni and Shia are the main ones, and you got all the different up branches of them, haven't
you?
Yeah. And then the extremists as well, because Sunni and Shia aren't necessarily ones not extremists. One is
no.
There's different beliefs, and then you get
the
extremist roots of each of them from different branches.
Extremists get to win quite early on in their campaigns, but eventually it falls apart.
Yeah.
Because it's just people don't like being oppressed. But that's it, the shock and awe, because they're willing to do shit that other people aren't willing to do. So So they get to seize power. But then after that, people start to get pissed off with it, and they start to fight back. And that's what you're starting to see now in the Middle East again. Is like people are getting bored of the like really heavy, like extremist shit.
Yeah, but
and
at the
like
same time,
people are starting to sort of go, fuck that shit.
At the same time, a lot of them have a lot of the issues that we seem to have here, though. Where it's like you can be very much against the party, you're going to vote for that other party, but that other party is just a different flavour of terrorist.
Exactly that, yeah.
One of them. That's a big part of Gaza, anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely part of Gaza's problem, because it's like, well, you can have Hezbollah, or you can have this, or you can have that.
Well, a lot of time, that was their choices, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, or Hamas, do you want Hezbollah or Hamas?
But that's also what happens when you, like, in my opinion, cut off a country for however long, I understand there was reasons and there's things that happen during that. It's not as simple as they've just cut them into a little thing. Yeah. But anyway, let's get off of this.
Anyway, so the island...
Basically, the thing we were trying to point out there is I don't imagine there's good sex in Gaza.
No.
Or Israel, either.
Doesn't seem fantastic at the moment. No.
Although that, what's that guy, that one you always see talking about, the Jewish guy? What's that name when you were Jewish? Not priest. You were Rabbi Shmuley. You ever seen that guy, the crazy one that's always shouting?
Oh yeah.
He has a sex toy business. So,
does he?
Yeah. Him and his daughter.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is some fun.
Kosher plastic penises.
Yeah, of course. Gotta be kosher. Of course. But yeah. So there is some sex going on over there, I guess, actually.
Yeah. Okay. So the island was discovered in 1777. Soon becoming a British protectorate, being used to send goods back and forth from Australia, New Zealand, etc. Eventually, the island became part of New Zealand territory. They've arrived in the island in the middle of an ongoing war between various factions. So, obviously, there were tribes on this island, and between the two of them, they were sort of constantly at war. Yeah, constantly fighting each other. It's not even that big of an island, but like there's enough space for just about two different groups of people.
It's a space to fight, I find it.
And one person obviously got pissed off at another person at some point. It was like, oh, fuck you, I'll make my own tribe with blackjack and hookers. And then
Alright.
Loads of people were like, blackjack and hookers, let's go to that fucking tribe. And so it split, you know.
Check me the code just next year. I'm becoming a bitch and getting cold. I am a bitch. This is a fin jumper.
There's your code.
Thank you.
Monsieur. So yeah. They have some unusual sexual practices traditionally on the island.
Okay, I'm looking forward to this.
Very unusual sexual practices. Right. Okay, so this comes from Love Bites, this bit. Mangia, an archipelago where female sexual pleasure matters.
Hey.
Mangia is the most southerly of the Cook Islands of the South Pacific Ocean, that most researchers would say has the most open attitudes towards sex. There is an emphasis on sexual pleasure.
Hey.
Masturbation is known to Mangian boys at the age of 7.
I mean, that is kind of the time when you have kids. That is kind of the time when they start
playing with things.
Yeah,
but like, really, do you need to?
No,
like,
they wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, I think it's like they're aware of it.
They're aware of it. They wouldn't even be able to actually masturbate.
Yeah, I don't think they would.
To be fair, they're probably just made aware of why they're having these feelings and stuff.
Yeah, I think that's it, and I think that's a logic. That's not an illogical time to bring that into
I've had to have a conversation with both of my boys when they're at a certain age. When they talk to me, it's like, why does my willy go hard when I touch it?
Yeah.
I've had to have the conversation with both of them. It's a normal thing. If
buddy.
you've got boys, it's a normal thing you have to do.
You just have to explain some shit sometimes, because like mechanics exist.
Exactly, yeah.
You know.
It's just straight up, like.
Yeah. These Mangian boys are taught how to kiss, perform a...
Wait, hold on, I just realised, I just want to clarify with that what I just said, that quote.
Yeah.
When I said, just to clarify, when I said, both of my boys said, "Why does my willy get hard when I touch it?" They were talking about their willies.
Yeah.
Not mine.
Yes, of course. Everyone knew that. Right? Okay.
You say that. Some people.
Some people are weird.
Some people are weird.
Yeah. So yeah, at the ages of around about 8 to 9, they are taught to kiss, perform oral sex, and learn how to bring pleasure to their partner. At the age of 13.
Oh, 13. Okay, damn. Okay.
And then practice.
But all of that you just said was 13.
Yeah, all of that was 13.
That's still a lot better than 8.
Yeah, but practice with older women. So women who are like 18, 20, 30.
Yeah, they teach them.
They're teaching them what to do.
You know, it's so weird though. I always had that kind of... I always thought this was a bit more sexual, because when I was younger, like, I don't know, it's not younger.
Yeah.
But the time when I was, thinking about it, and I think it was like year 6 or something, because I'd already had that, like, first experience I told you about.
Yeah.
I had an older woman. I was like 10 or something then at the time, probably, I imagine, in year 6. 10 or 11. There was like a 14 or 15-year-old in the area we used to like chill in, like around my aunt and that. And she was the first one to kind of like sat me down and like taught me how to kiss for a night and stuff with her. So I kind of had that, I guess.
I mean,
I remember that because I see her every now and then. I'm like,
is that that's on the verge? That isn't it? It's on the verge.
For her,
yeah,
not for me.
Yeah, not for you. That's just a memory for you.
But women know they can get away with that shit more, and for me, it's another one, as I say.
Yeah, you'll find a lot of this sort of thing happening again. Like, so this is the nice effect from South Park again. It's just the nice.
I can see, like the where that comes from somewhere naturally in the mind, though, because if that happened to me like that, just with a young,
yeah,
we're both young. She wasn't an adult. Like,
no,
she was still a kid.
Yeah.
I see where that logic comes from, but then still, they take this way too far then,
yeah.
By getting like an 18, 20-year-old. What the hell?
Hey, 13-year-old, lick out my pussy. I'm going to teach you how to do it right. It's like, Jesus Christ, guys.
I'm trying to think of it from their point of view, and I guess in their head, then they're seeing it as because it's a teaching thing.
As well, you got to remember.
No pleasure from the women.
Yeah. You've also got to remember as well, like, look at this context-wise for the place. These people probably, at the tribal time at least, aren't living that much longer than 30, 40 at max. Yeah. Right?
It's another thing people say about, like, Muhammad back in the day. Why he married somebody so young.
It's because, it was thought of as normal because people wouldn't live that long.
Yeah.
You might only have 15 years left at the age of 13.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy, but that's unfortunately something that happens, especially in a place where you can get an infection and it can just fucking kill you. That's it. You don't have any drugs, that's it, you're done.
And you don't think that's true? That's exactly why the elders in the communities are seen as, like, respected by everyone.
Because they've survived.
Because they're alive.
They are knowledgeable and wise just inherently because they have survived.
And they're probably only 50.
Yeah.
But they look like they're 80.
Yeah.
I guarantee, man.
So remember that context. We're not talking about a modern world where that would be genuinely just, what the fuck?
You got to try and look at it and try and understand it from that.
From this historical context. This is 1777 we're talking about.
And this is obviously this is like a more uncultured tribe, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So you also got to try and think of it as well, like, how you can imagine the natural things lead to it.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you condone it.
No. But this is
trying to understand it.
Again, this is just interesting sexual practices from around the world. And this...
It's like what we said.
Fucking interesting.
It's like the Bill Maher and Trump thing. Like, you have conversations, you try to understand it. Doesn't mean you agree with it.
No.
You condone it.
No.
But it's like serial killers. I find it so interesting trying to listen to their interviews.
Yeah.
To understand their frame of minds and where it comes from.
What caused them to go down this path? It's such a fucking interesting...
The psychology of people is so interesting. That's why I fucking love Big Brother, guys.
And quite often you can see when the breaks happen in a fucking story of like a psychopath. It's like, that's obviously what fucked them up there. And then that got compounded by this. And then they did that and that gave them that. And then they wanted to do more of that.
Could be like wrestling, though, where the stuff that looks the worst is never the things that hurt you. It's always the little innocuous things.
Yeah, the stuff that you don't even recognise, that was never written down because it was just a single remark by someone that they cared about or something.
I remember stuff in my past, tiny little remarks or things that somebody said that stuck with me for ages.
Oh yeah, I remember certain things like over and over again. It's like, oh, why does that still hurt so bad?
Yeah.
Wow.
You got to try and draw them out of your head though as well at the same time.
Oh yeah.
But you can't for a while. You don't even realise.
This is a genuinely healthy thing to do. People say talking to yourself is crazy, but it's a genuinely healthy thing to do, especially if something like that turns up. Just say out if you're alone. Say out loud to yourself, that's not a big deal anymore. I don't need to worry about that. And legit, you will immediately feel the like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you just need to vocalise your shit.
When I was high or something, and I got like, when I was more like, I used to have a lot of anxiety stuff with bud and that.
Yeah.
At certain times, if I felt it, like, I'd go to the toilet to have a piss or something.
Yeah.
Because I have a baby bladder, so I can always piss.
Yeah.
And just at the same time, just be like, not now.
Not now.
That was it.
Yeah.
So, now's not the time.
No. We're fine.
Because you always start thinking about something more, not anxiety, more thinking about stuff.
Yeah, it's like there's time for that.
Yeah, there's time for that, not now.
Yeah.
And just tell yourself that a lot.
Yeah. I've done that quite a bit. So where was I?
So, Cook Islands.
So yeah, for the Mangians, males getting their partner to orgasm is one of the man's chief sources of sexual pleasure.
Oh.
Like, it's all about getting them off. They are givers. They are 100% givers.
Drilled into their
They
head.
have a high ratio. We're talking 5 to 1, you know?
It's drilled into their head, I guess.
Yeah, from a very young age.
Yeah.
You best make my pussy ache.
Just gonna but the thing is, though, I bet they haven't got contraception.
Probably not. No. Yeah.
No, it seems to work for them, though, to be fair. If people are dying so quickly, you need to.
Yeah.
In that situation, yeah.
Excuse me.
No. You're not excused.
No. In contrast to Mangia, excuse me, off the coast of Ireland lies a small island known as Innis Beag, one of the most naive and sexually repressive societies in the world.
Oh, damn.
In this society, sex education is, or was at least, non-existent. The people do not have any knowledge of any sorts of sexual activity, such as French kissing or oral sex.
Oh.
There is no such thing as premarital sex. Well, there obviously is, but they don't talk about it.
Yeah, it always is.
It always is. Parents don't talk about sex to their children and simply just trust that nature will run its course.
Oh, that's definitely going to stop premarital sex right there, then.
Yeah. Marital sex would involve, but is limited. Marital sex would be involved, but is limited to kissing and rough fondling of the buttocks. And the man just slapping them. Yeah. I'm going to slap your ass. Hang out there. I'm going to slap your ass a little bit there. Don't you worry about it. I'm feeling like I want to slap your ass a bit there. Wait. Oh, look at your ass.
Wait, that's Ireland then?
It is, yeah.
Oh, so we could get there.
And teach them a thing.
Imagine that, man. They'd be like...
What the fuck are you talking about? Oral masturbation. Or oral sex. What's this thing you're talking about there? You're putting your hand on someone else's genitals. That's insane.
That's crazy. Sure, there's got to be some people in...
I mean, this is the thing. It's like, obviously this was at a certain time and it's not the same anymore. Because there must be just people going, oh, well, I'll have a quick look at what it is there on the... What's this thing called Pornhub there? Oh, my fucking Lord. Jesus, would you look at that? Oh my God, I didn't think the human body could do such a thing.
Yeah, it always permeates, man. It always permeates.
And then he gets drunk and he talks and says, Did you ever put in there the Pornhubs in your phone? It's fucking amazing. You need to check out the Pornhubs.
So you're trying to tell me it's anywhere near to the people of Shameless that don't have anything to do with... No. No way. And they're most likely Catholics as well.
Oh, gotta be.
Catholics are dirty bastards.
Yeah. Deep down, we all know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Although I will say over and over, the pull-out method is better than people think.
It's not that.
I did it for years. As a slag, I never used a condom. Do you want to know how many people I impregnated as a slag? None.
No. Impressive.
Just pull out. It's easy.
There you go.
Spunk on the chest.
So. The male was on top. That was the only position that was allowed to be used. Good old-fashioned missionary. Where both partners kept their underwear on during the activity.
Oh.
I mean, I imagine you're like pulling shit around or something. You're not just like forcing cotton in.
No, but you've all had that at some point when you're trying to have sex. You just pull their girls are the worst. You pull their underwear to the side,
and then it starts just
rubbing.
Oh, because it's literally it's that like really thin bit of string, and then like embroidered shit in between it.
Underwear, though, these girls will.
Right, yeah.
But that's probably gonna have a tighter grip. Yeah, and not show anything.
It's gonna chafe. One side of your cock is gonna look. You're gonna have a two-faced cock.
Are they?
You're gonna have a cock that looks like a fucking Batman villain.
Thingies are circumcised, aren't they? Catholics.
What?
Catholics, are they circumcised? No. Oh, okay. So at least they've got that added bit of help.
Yeah. But they are, again, they've got chafing down one side of their cock.
It's not nice, man.
I mean, at least it stops you from doing it too often.
Oh, yeah, because that's what we want.
That's what they want.
That's what they want, okay. For some reason, God knows what's going on with these people. You get married, that's the sign when you can go crazy.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Maybe there's something in the water. Maybe they're drinking too. Maybe that's it. Maybe they're drinking too much of the water. We know that it's all polluted around here. Maybe there's loads of hard plastic in there, and it's just destroyed their libidos.
Yeah, maybe.
It all flows to there. All the plastic naturally flows to there.
Yeah.
Or something in the potato.
I mean, the potato is a pretty. There was it like Kellogg's cornflakes were made because the guy thought that they would make people's libido go down.
You say that, and I feel like there might be something to it.
That is legit. That is one of that
some
is
kind
true.
Of doctor guy, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dr. Kellogg was literally like, sex is terrible. It's for the devil. You should only be having sex to procreate. Here, eat my cornflakes. It'll make you not want to fuck. It's like, what? Why? What do you think about corn makes you not want to fuck? Corn is just pure, isn't it? You know, you just look at some corn and you're like, I don't get hard looking at corn. Do you get hard looking at corn? You fucking freak.
To be fair, though, I mean, if I was, like talking to a girl and then she was like, you're kind of wire, or spend the night doing labbity-dabdies, whatever it is.
Ooh.
And then they're like, and then in the morning, I'll get you a nice big bowl of cornflakes. I'll be like, I don't think I'm going to say this, girl.
Yeah.
She thinks a nice meal in the morning after some sexy time is a bowl of cornflakes. He's right.
I mean, what if it's Frosties?
I think you're trying too hard. You're trying too hard.
Frosties fuck.
No, not. Frosties are nice, don't get me wrong.
They're great.
But then you're trying too hard. Okay. Leave that right there.
So, it turns out that Innes Beeg was actually a false name made up by the person who first wrote the article way back in the day, right?
What?
Yeah.
What?
So it wasn't actually that. It's not called Innes Beeg.
Okay,
the island.
Okay.
It is actually Inisheer, which is a labelled fucking thing. Now, the reason why they didn't name it initially correctly was to prevent any,
Protect it.
Well, yeah, to protect the people and be like, there's no reason to embarrass these motherfuckers.
And you don't want people to going down there and
being like,
giving them porn.
Check out my dick! Just
like we were just talking about. We were just talking about going down there.
Just a guy in a fucking 18th century outfit with just his fucking dick hanging out. Like, you ever seen one of these before, you bastards?
No, I'd be hoping for a full-on epidemic of flashes.
Yeah,
full-on, just generic ones, the waist, the coat,
like that bit in fucking in 28 Weeks Later. Where he's sprinting, 28 weeks later.
Yeah, Head of Zombie.
The very start, where he's sprinting away from the house, and there's just zombies pouring over the hills and stuff, running towards him. It's just that flashes with their coats out. Right?
That'd be good to me.
Oh, fuck.
Maybe a few less, to go down one corner and there's one there, and then you go down and run another corner, in a like an industrial park, and they went round the other corner. It was like another one, like everywhere they go, it's just they can't get away from them.
Yeah, they're impossible.
It turns into like literally, I don't know, like maybe like a ratio of like for every one person, there's 3 flashes.
Yeah.
So each day you're going to see some dick.
You're going to see a lot of dick.
Well, there's actually female flashes too, though. Equal.
Oh God.
I can understand why they wouldn't want to name it.
Yeah, they wouldn't want to name it.
I can understand why they wouldn't want to name it.
However, I wanted to do a little bit of extra research.
Oh, God.
I wanted to be absolutely sure about this.
You're going to name them now.
No. This
Good.
comes from skeptics.stackexchange.com.
Okay.
Right? These two places have many times been mentioned together in many anthropological works and popular culture.
Okay.
However, the person who detailed the sexual culture of the Mangia was Donald Marshall, and he was the only person who did so. All studies afterwards merely cite him. In other words, there's no other reference on Mangia, and an extremely similar situation prevails for Innis Beag, where Messenger is the only source. This is the guy who originally wrote the thing. It was a guy called Messenger.
Oh, okay.
Innis Beag and Mangia are held as total polar opposites, the former with the most sexual repression, the latter with the most sexual liberation.
Oh, so these are both the ones. Okay.
Yeah.
The names are confusing me.
Yeah. So how true are these claims exactly? They have often been tossed around in forums and other places, but nobody, it seemed, has actually investigated their validity.
Uh-huh.
Now, this is the thing. If you are discovering places at that time, once an island's discovered, no one gives a fuck anymore.
Yeah.
Like, no one's going to do any more writing on it because there's other islands to discover and other peoples to discover, and you want to have your name written with something important. So I don't necessarily think that the Mangia stuff's fake.
Yeah, so the second one, though, wasn't the same as that, though, was it?
Yeah, the second one was repression, but it was also...
But it wasn't an uncontacted tribe.
No, but it was an island off of...
Oh, okay.
Island that was its own like isolated little colony,
so it
essentially.
Is quite similar though.
Similar in that way.
I say the first one,
but that obviously comes with, as you say, the Catholic repression angle, as opposed to like the free love religion that the Mangia had.
Yeah, the Mangia makes a lot more sense to me because just from a small island where there's no idea of the right and wrong with the ages and all that.
Yeah.
They have their own opinion,
and you'll find as well that is not something that only happens with the Mangia. This happens more often. There's one that I'm not talked about in this, but there is a tribe who have these like they're basically like sex huts that a dad will make for his daughter, right? And so that her daughter can go and like have fun with her boyfriends and stuff like that, but in a safe environment.
Oh, so it's like how
one
would be like, or somebody would be like, well, I suppose if you're going to be drinking...
If you're going to be doing it, I'd rather you be doing it under my roof. Yeah.
So,
it's my roof, I literally made the cunt. Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah.
Again.
And again, it's from a less sexually like repressed tribe, and it was a thing of like these girls had multiple boyfriends and things like that. That was just something that was considered normal.
Yeah, and they wanted reproduction and reproduce.
Yeah, and it's also like, just people are going to fuck. Make it safe for them to fuck.
There wasn't no social thing being put on them to make it be wrong. Like religion does.
Exactly.
Puts a lot of taboos and all shit in religion. Sex.
Especially Western religions.
Yeah.
Western religions cannot help but be like, don't you do it. You're bad if you do it.
Yeah, whereas to be fair, some of the religions that still go around nowadays need to do it more.
Yeah. Should we have a little bit of a jump away from the bigger stuff now, and we'll have a little go through some historical weirdness.
Oh, you know me, I love my history.
So many historical weird sexual shit happens.
The world is amazing. Not just stuff now, though, but like the history of stuff.
Yeah.
The stuff we already know for sure is amazing. The stuff we're learning every day is amazing.
Yeah.
And so much of that amazing shit is weird as hell.
Yeah. Do you want to know one that's fucking awesome?
I want to know all of them.
Ancient Greece. This comes
I love ancient Greece.
Yeah, this comes from
debauchery.
Vocal.media-history. This is by Exotic History, and it was published 2 years ago, right? Yeah. So, the ancient Greek festival of Dionysia.
I think I've heard of this.
So you know about Dionysus, the guy who the god of like
pleasure,
excess and pleasure and like all this kind of stuff. Just fucking constantly drinking, constantly fucking, constantly getting down. You know, having a great time.
Is that the god of wine as well? Or was that?
Oh yeah.
I think you were the reason I'd heard of him first. I think you mentioned him ages ago.
Yeah, just chugging that wine down. Yeah. In ancient Greece, the festival of Dionysia was a celebration dedicated to the god Dionysus, associated with fertility and ecstasy.
Yeah.
During
not
this,
the drug.
No,
they didn't have
not ecstasy the drug, ecstasy the experience.
Ecstasy, what you want from the drug.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, pretty much it does what it says on the tin. It's good shit.
It does.
Don't do it at home unless you have friends with you who are also doing it. Don't do it alone.
Yeah. It'd be a weird one to do on your own. Yeah. I've never done that at home just because it seems weird to do at home.
No, it's if you can make your own little like rave cave with a bunch of friends and a big TV. Put on some fucking 3D like animated shit in the background, like Mandelbulb shit.
See, that's great, but it's even better when you're doing it at a club and there's like half-naked women walking around because you enjoy it so much more when
that sounds pretty good.
Horniest I ever got was dancing with a girl while I was on ecstasy.
But then you got Pill Willy, so you can't do anything.
Yeah.
Like, I'm horny as fuck, but my God, nothing will happen.
Say that though, but I am also a giver as well, so.
Yeah. Can't say no.
I enjoy that side.
Yeah. So, you would have fit in very well with the Greeks,
I would have done. The only problem is, though, I'm extremely racist, too.
Yeah. But during this annual event, right, every year this happened, which involved theatrical performances, revelry, drinking, food, wine.
That's part of drinking. But
Yeah, but, you know.
Wine. Not just beer.
Drugs, herbs.
Yeah, they had the drugs and shit. They knew how to have a good time then.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they did. They're having some mushrooms.
Orgies to hell.
Oh, yeah. It was common for participants to engage in uninhibited sexual activities as a form of fucking worship.
I didn't know that.
You were holy for fucking down on this day.
I was born in the wrong fucking millennia.
Yeah, bro.
My God.
Yeah, bro.
I'd be a deity.
Just like literally, this was a year like ultimate, like ultimate adult Christmas. Where it was just like, today, if you fuck, drink, and be merry, you get to go to the good place.
Wow. See, that's when religions knew how to get you in.
Yeah, boy.
You know what I'm saying, man?
Fucking yeah, boy.
And it was after the Bible. No, it's before the Bible, isn't it, actually?
Oh, yeah, way before the Bible.
Ancient Greece, of course, yeah.
This sexual liberation was seen as a means to invoke the blessings of Dionysus, fostering fertility and the continuation of life. The festival provided an outlet for individuals to explore their desires openly, breaking free from societal constraints temporarily in the name of religious devotion.
I mean,
fuck yes, bro.
Whatever reason you want to give for it, I'm down.
I'm down for it.
Damn, yeah.
Hey, if you want to call me religious for fucking eating someone out, I'm down with that.
Yeah, that's how you get them in.
Yeah.
It really is.
It really is.
I would be.
You wonder why cults make it so big all the time now. It's because half of the cults out there are letting them fuck down on the regular.
Yeah, they know what they want and they know what to offer.
People want to fuck down on the regular. Let them fuck down on the regular.
What's the problem?
And make it a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celebrate it. You earned this many brownie points to get into heaven now.
Yeah.
If you bang this many more women, you will get a bonus.
If you get yourself into an orgy over the next 7 days, you could make it up like way into heaven. You could be sitting next to God. You'd be like, you are proper G.
Yeah, because you know God's taking part in orgies on the reg.
Oh, you know it.
Why else has he made so many people in his image?
Yeah. Yeah, you don't just have one person in his image. He's got fucking 7 billion of them, 8 billion of them.
I wonder how many of them he told were his first people to.
Tangent, right? Did you see the fucking thing where they've said recently that there could be up to 1 to 3 billion extra people on the planet that no one's got documented, so they don't know about them?
It makes sense.
Legit.
I mean, because you always find the uncontacted tribes.
Yeah.
You always find there's got to be so many of the children of people having third world countries that you just never register.
Well, of course they don't, because they don't even know how.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Like they've got the government's changed so many fucking times. There's not this form or that form. There's no fucking continuation of any of this information.
It probably doesn't help anyway. So
yeah, it's fucked. There could be 11 billion people on the planet, and we've got no fucking clue. It could be almost double what we thought.
Oh, is that almost double?
Well, no, but you know what I mean. It's like if you go for the low end, some people say 7 billion, but like up to 11 billion, that's like a third extra.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They're already there, though, so it makes no difference.
Yeah.
We just didn't realise that we were more. I guess we've done better.
We are proliferating hard.
No, if we've got this many resources and there's even more people, well, we're doing even better, then, ain't we? Calm down.
So, the Maasai warriors, the Marani. Among the Maasai people of East Africa, the Marani tradition was a unique rite of passage for young warriors. These warriors, while in training, would engage in sexual relationships with older, more experienced women within the community. There's a pattern emerging here.
I thought you were going to say with their moms or something then, though.
There's a pattern emerging here, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You teach the young.
Yeah.
You take the village.
It's always like, oh, this hot young buck has just come of age. Let me teach him how to fuck first. It's literally a fucking one of those pornos where it's like, oh, I'm fuck my girlfriend's stepmom, and then my girlfriend walks in. That is literally what's happening.
Well, my girlfriend and stepmom watched me fuck my girlfriend and then showed me how to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that. That is what is happening on the regular, or was. Again, this is all based on sort of historical.
Yeah.
stuff.
Maasai, I've heard of the Maasai.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out why I know them. Which ones they were.
They were the ones who drink a mix of milk and cow blood.
And where was this? Africa, you said?
Africa, yeah.
And
they also do the jumping thing.
I think it might have been a lot of the heads they found as well. The giant heads. I think it might have been the Maasai warriors.
I don't know.
Let me have a look.
I think the Maasai are just a current tribe. The people who did the heads. Do you mean the Easter Island heads?
No.
I was going to say, because that's a different thing.
No. These are the heads that they only discovered, like...
Where's the...
These are the ones that were only discovered, like, after a certain amount of time. No, not statue. Head. Sorry. I might be wrong. I might be confusing it with another one.
That's alright.
Oh, no, okay. This is the more... Yeah, the one you still hear about a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I can't... I was thinking of a more ancient one that they... Okay.
I think I'm not talking out my arse when I say that some of the Maasai have ended up being like really good long distance runners.
No, I think you're right. That might be why, because they're still around now. So
Yeah.
Kenya. Kenya gets all of them.
Yeah.
They like
because they've literally just got giant open plains and like that's why humans were so good as hunters.
What?
Right. So when you're running on two legs, it's more difficult because you've got to sort of push your body and hold it in a position, which humans evolved over time.
Yeah.
But it saves you a fuckload of energy.
Oh yeah, I know. And I know cats can only run, like big cats can only run for a short amount of time.
It's the same with deer though. That's why humans survived for so long. And I didn't realise it's because you always see a deer and you're like, fuck, look how quick that deer moves. I could never have caught that. But they just tracked them. They'd track them and the deer would run. And then they'd track them and the deer would run. And they'd track them and the deer would run. And eventually the deer would be like,
when we say track them, you mean running after them as well?
Yeah, and they're like, come in, this is fucking... Because we just would not stop. We're like the fucking Terminator of the evolutionary world. You know?
That makes a lot of sense.
We would not sleep. We would not stop, you know? We have no pity or remorse. We're just going to hunt you the fuck down and eat your flesh.
I'm trying to figure out
what you're trying to find where the elongated heads did come from. The Olmec.
That's Olmec, that was what I was thinking. Oh, it was the Olmec heads.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to know about another role of the Egyptians?
Cool, yeah.
A fertility ritual of Min. In ancient Egypt, the god Min was revered for his role in fertility. To invoke his blessings for procreation, the Egyptians engaged in elaborate fertility rituals, including sexual acts. These were considered sacred and were performed in the belief that they would ensure the abundance of crops and offspring. Couples, particularly those hoping to conceive, participated eagerly in these rituals, viewing them as a direct connection in divine forces that govern their lives. Egyptian fertility rituals blended spirituality, sexuality, and the practical aspects of agrarian life. So it was basically just, everybody get in the streets and fuck.
I like that, though.
It's amazing how unrepressed ancient cultures were in comparison to us. And we always look back on it and we think of those times as like repressed times.
Nah.
But they weren't, man.
No, at all.
They weren't. They were so much less repressed.
I
in
never
some
look
ways.
back, but I can understand what you mean about how a lot of the natural people do look back and they always assume everything about the older people was lesser.
Yeah, because we look back at like the European version. Because about these times in the European shit, it was all like fucking, again, God and stuff like that. And, you know, I mean, well, after this, admittedly, because this is ancient Egypt. But, like, you know what I mean? It's
they still had some gods. Well, yeah, they always had some gods. They just figured out more boring ones over in Europe. And
it turns out we just like the boring gods.
Well, no, it was easy to control them.
Yeah.
Once they were into the boring gods, it was easier. And probably when they, originally it wasn't as boring, and then it was like, we already know it's edited down more. Like, I'm talking about Christianity.
Yeah.
But, they all get the nice stuff taken out of them.
It's just always this thing. It always comes down to morality, and it's like it's never been actually about morality. Morality is entirely fucking
in the eye of the
subjective.
Yeah. Well, totally, like, something just moral to one person. And nowadays, everybody makes out that we all follow this idea of what's moral, just going by the law and that.
Yeah.
We don't.
It's not. We don't.
We don't at all.
Nothing.
Like, yeah, there's so many different examples you could give.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
stuff in the law right now that I'm like, no.
Why do we follow that? That's stupid. And like the way laws work, they always they introduce some kind of law. And then they, attach some other law into this law that fucks up the entire thing.
Yeah.
And makes it so that there's some kind of loophole for this or that or the other. Or just affects another law that is completely fucking unrelated.
Well, that's a lot of the time is how they sneak them through.
Yeah.
They sneak it through like they have one thing that everybody likes. And somewhere in there is this little thing for something else.
And sometimes it works because no one fucking reads it. Huh? Yeah, and sometimes it works because none of them fucking read it.
Yeah.
MPs literally don't fucking read the shit that they are paid to fucking read.
Most
and then
of them
they
don't
go,
vote.
Give us more money.
Most of them don't vote.
Yeah.
You say that as well, though. You know the bin men at the moment, they're on strike.
Yeah.
They've rejected another offer, which apparently was a great offer, but you don't know if it was.
Well,
media now are very much, over the last 10 years, the media has become controlled by the
it's
government.
just entirely propaganda.
It really is now. Like 10, 15 years ago, you'd have them reporting on stuff that they wouldn't
want them to report
that
on.
the government or the royal family would not want them to report on.
Now they just report on, everything to distract. Everything to distract.
Leave out even just leave out so much of the interesting stuff that it could distract so much better.
Yeah.
There's so much better stuff you could distract with nowadays.
No, they want to go with the old tried and true method. Scare them. Scare them and make them worried to get outside.
Because yes, there is always stuff going on.
Yeah.
I mean, I literally had that guy running through our garden the other day.
Yeah, I mean that's a thing that happened.
Let's show you the video of that.
Yeah.
I put it on on the actual podcast on the
Peas in the Pod.
Peas in the Pod. Yeah. So if you want to watch that, go check
that shit out.
There in full of
what it's happened. A good video.
It's great.
It's a great video.
The way that the guy is just like, yeah, I'm gonna get over. Oh shit! He just opens, trying to climb an open gate. That gate hardly closes. I don't know how he thought it was locked. It hardly closes, man. It blows open all the time. Fucking idiot.
Fucking moron.
Well done, no. He got over that open gate.
He got over that open gate. He did it.
I did say I was going to fuzz out his face, and I do it for Mum, but I don't mind. I'll put him out there.
Anyway.
If anyone in Singapore watching this knows him, let us know.
A place, time, and space to get sexually acquainted. The Murya tribe. The Murya people, an indigenous tribe in Chhattisgarh, India, have always been sexually progressive for centuries. In their sexual tradition, the youth have a space that allows them to get sexually acquainted and experiment with each other. This tradition occurs in a gotal, a mixed dormitory where young men and women come together and spend a night. only boys can participate at 21 years old and girls at 18 years old. So it's a sort of more acceptable age for modern times, and they're still doing this. It's in India.
Oh, okay.
It's a tribe in India that sort of behave in this particular way. The event is all about educating and experimenting with sexuality. The Gothel starts at the dusk when singing and dancing are involved. As it gets dark, the youth enter the Gothel in pairs. A critical and compulsory rule is that it's on the girl's consent. If a girl refuses the boy cannot force or coerce her in any way. Mm-hmm. Usually, the night spent together involves talking or engaging in sexual activity. That legit is a very healthy way of dealing with it. And they're also...
I hope the guy's consent is important too.
Oh, it is, but the guys are asking. It's the girls who say yes or no. So the consent of the guys is pretty much implied.
Implied by asking.
Yeah. But like the girls are literally like, if they say no, that's it. You're not allowed to talk. You don't do it again.
And
you don't ask again.
Everyone in there as well would be watching. Yeah. They're all in a group.
And that's such a healthy attitude because there's so many people in Western culture or just in culture in general.
It sounds like you have to go in pairs, so it'd be an equal number.
Yeah, but there's so many people who are like, oh no, if they say no, you just got to sort of try again later, or you got to ask again a different way. You got to do this and like.
Hey, girls have put forward that thing too.
They do,
because the amount of stories that you hear of like, oh, how did you meet? Well, I wasn't really into him at first, but he kept trying and trying. I was like, he won me over. And they talk about how, that's a
thing.
It's a hard line, isn't it?
There is a hard line. It's hard to tell where the line is on that.
Yeah,
but
it
like,
really is.
if someone, but also if someone's just giving you a hard no, that's a no. If it's not like, well, I like you, but I'm actually seeing someone else, or actually I'm not interested because of this at the time. There's things that are different to just no.
It is a hard thing though, because some girls like the idea of you trying a bit, putting some effort.
But again, I think that's a cultural
hard
thing that's been put into it. If everyone behaved in the same way as this culture, that probably wouldn't be as much of a thing.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Because it would just be, I just like you or I don't like you.
Yeah, well, yeah, I suppose it's different in this because I'm thinking of it in just like trying to talk to them, date them kind of way.
Yeah, this is a different thing. This is basically about sex and like learning how to please each other and like be good in that kind of way.
Yeah.
So
that's still cool though.
Yeah.
The whole
group sex is discouraged as well. That's another thing to point out. So it's not for like groups to go in. It's like one couple will go in, the next one they'll leave, the next couple will go in, they'll leave, and there's like a couple of different of these places around. So like it's an overnight party where like
things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's not like everyone's fucking all at once in like a, hey bro, check you out, man. Yeah. It's not.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
The Muria are an indigenous tribe of the area. The Muria prioritise collectiveness, and they're divided into 5 phrases. Okay, there's the Nagvans snake race. A bit racist. It gets more racist from there.
They called it themselves.
The Kachimvans tortoise race. The Bakrivans goat race. The Bagvans tiger race, and the Bodminkvans the fish race. They are not allowed to eat their totem animal and must mourn it if one dies. So if someone like brings
a hard turn,
if someone from a snake race or a tortoise race and a goat race or a tiger race, they bring home a fish that day and everyone's eating a fish and they're like, oh, this fish is delicious. The person who's got a fish totem has to be like, ah!
But that's all well and good though. But how often is somebody going to get like a lion?
Yeah.
They're pretty sweet.
I know.
No one's bringing home a lion to eat.
Yeah.
And is this during the festival?
No, this is all the time. This is just them in general. This is just the way their life is structured.
Oh, okay. This makes more sense. Okay.
So, prior to engagement, Muria men may freely engage in sexual intercourse with their mother's brother's daughter, or father's sister's daughter. So, basically, their cousins.
Oh. Yes.
So, like, basically, it's like cousin stuff's cool, like the Fallout show.
Well, I mean, legality-wise, it's fine here. Legality-wise,
it depends on the cousin, I think, doesn't it?
No, I think you can be with your first cousin.
Really?
I don't know if you can.
I think you can only marry like a third cousin.
No, it's at least second cousin, if so. I'm not sure, because you hear about people marrying their cousins all the time.
I mean, that is a thing that happens.
In the royal family.
Especially happens in like other communities as well.
I want to check that now, actually, because I mean, like, I remember looking before and feeling like it was a real thing that you could. Let's check. Don't do it on images because that'll go badly. It may not be on there, but for me, I don't want to see it.
I'll keep going with this as well.
Yeah.
So while women may do the same with their father's sister's son or mother's brother's son, however, this is not allowed after betrothal. Women may freely grab at each other's breasts or exchange sexually themed jokes, a custom which becomes more common as they get older. So the women will just walk into a crowd of other women and go like, "Hey babies, how's it going? Flappy titty, flappy titty."
I'm not gonna lie, I misspotted that, but I feel like I enjoy that explanation more.
Yeah. The women just go around like flapping each other's titties, giving them a grope, and going like, "Hey, your tits are so fucking bouncy. Look at those. They're like fucking balloons going up in the air."
At least it's all like, well, actually, it's nowadays. Actually, I was about to say, at least it's all like, you know, natural titties. So they're really, you
proper
know,
natural titties.
So they're proper, like, you know, checking each other. But nowadays,
natural
I don't
titties.
know.
Natural titties are always the best titties.
Not always.
Oh, come on.
No, generally, yeah. But
always
I've
the best titties.
been with some girls. There's certain types of titties that I'm not a fan of.
Right.
I've realised this because tits aren't my favourite.
Yeah.
That's not what I go for. I'm not going to point out what my favourites are, not because that's mean.
Yeah.
I don't want any ladies with those particular titties to be listening and being like,
"Oh no, Carl won't go with me."
That's not what I meant. But that.
Is that?
Yeah, it comes up there. But just to tangent again, I just googled it.
Yeah.
In the UK, marriage between the first cousin is not illegal.
What the fuck?
It is not universally encouraged due to potential genetic health risks. The UK has a legal framework that prohibits marriages between certain close relatives, like siblings or parents and children, but doesn't ban marriage between first cousins.
That is crazy.
Medical experts advise against it, but that would just depend on...
That's crazy.
That doesn't even sound like, you know, like... that doesn't even sound like it's... what's it called? Inbred kind of thing. It's more about, like, if you've got certain genes which are more, like, cystic fibrosis is caused by a faulty gene.
Yeah, but...
And if two people have it, they're so much more likely for that person to get the disease.
I just...
I know, it's weird. Do you know what made me think about that? Which I was thinking, I'm sure it's not. It's because in Emmerdale, Charity and Kane and first cousins, and they got married at one point and had a kid.
Okay, the Muria are generally self-sufficient in producing and consuming forest produce like fruits, tendu, char, jam, bandwara, mango, lentils, vegetables, radishes, eggplant, chilies, tomatoes. Basically, what they're saying is, eat a lot of vegetables and your dick are going to be working just right.
Well, it's probably not wrong though.
It's probably not wrong.
You eat a lot of processed shit and like stuff with salt and just all the bad shit that we eat.
It's not good for your D.
No. And I think that might be on purpose a bit too.
I think it might be.
And like the fluoride in the water. I heard of that like can lower
libido. Yeah.
And we say even if you don't drink tap water, you're still getting the fluoride.
You are.
It's still in all.
Because everything else is using tap water to pour it into.
Exactly.
That. Even the ones that say spring water, it's still coming out of a tap. It's just happens to be near the fucking spring that they talk about. That's literally it.
Really?
That is literally fucking it.
Because I suppose that should be the source for that tap then.
It's the source for it. It's like,
it's still polluted as fuck.
Yeah, it's still polluted. It's the same fucking water everyone else is getting, but we bottled it, motherfucker.
Well, what about the Volvic one? That's supposed to be like a volcano. We don't have any of them here, do we?
I don't know. Yeah, but they always say, like, oh, it's a Volvic, it's a volcano, but then say bottled in fucking Wales. It's like, oh, right, you're transporting in fucking gallons of water in a fucking thing to take it to Wales and bottle it, are you? Are you fuck?
That's a really good point,
Are you fuck?
But it's supposed to. To be fair, it might not be that hard to just transport water in a giant
vat, I suppose.
Well, yeah, in a vat, like on a big boat.
Yeah.
I'd rather transport that than whatever that fucking boat was that crashed.
I'd rather just not have fucking fluorine in the water. Can we do that?
Yeah, I'd rather that too.
Can we do that?
No, apparently
Seeing as
not.
everyone brushes their teeth now, so we don't... Well,
apparently not, though.
Yeah.
Where's that then? Well, I still have to push the ones I've got, thank you.
No, I'm just saying... I'm not pointing at you. I'm saying, like, some people just legit don't.
I wonder, do we not have it as much as America, though? Because I don't know if we have that as much as America. Because it's one of the things that they say about, you know, why British people have bad teeth, etc.
Oh, no, we've definitely got fluorine in the water.
Oh, we do?
Fluoride in the water.
Okay. I didn't know, because we have the pollution anyway. I mean, we've already got the bad shit anyway, so...
Yeah. Shall we do a little round of this Reddit page I found, which had some interesting ones?
I enjoy some Reddit. What's the Reddit thing?
This is our Ask History. Nice. So, what are some of the strangest sexual practices in history? I've
learned to enjoy this Reddit thing. It's a good source for stuff in podcasts.
Yeah, it is. Egyptian priests would perform a ritual in which they would swallow their own ejaculate as a symbolic representation of circular renewal of the universe.
So, hold on. The Egyptian priest was that, or whatever it is?
The Egyptian pharaoh.
And
priests.
Oh, God, wow.
Yeah. As a symbolic
I hope they're not mixing.
Fucking fly. Fuck off, you fly.
Was that a moth? Or was it one of the mosquitoes I've seen around? Cat will get that at some point.
Go away, moth. I'll slap you.
Are you one of those people that are scared of moths?
No, I just don't like him. I don't like him hitting my face.
I mean, you turn your face more to it, no?
I know, but
I don't want to hit my face. I'm going to look at it with my face.
Because I can slap it then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they would swallow their own.
I just noticed how uncomfortable you got since that moth appeared now.
Yeah, so basically it'll be a renewal of the universe as indicated by the Milky Way in the night sky.
Oh.
So they also shaved every hair on their body.
Is that sure?
Because that was seen as holy.
Before they came, or just in general?
That's one of the reasons. That's another thing that the ancient alien people talk about all the time. It's like, the ancient Egyptians shaved their body to look more like the aliens that were mastering them.
I mean, I'm not saying that there's definitely no... I'm in no way saying there's definitely no alien stuff going on with the Egyptians. Because there's so much weird stuff about it all.
But
I mean, they very much could be, but I in no way look at the stuff and I'm like, well, this is the reason why, this is the reason why. This is another reason why. Ancient alien... What was it? Ancient alien...
extraterrestrials.
What did they always say? Ancient astronaut philosopher. There's a phrase they always use in it. And I'm like,
ancient astronaut theory. Ancient astronaut theorists say.
Yeah, that means nothing.
Yeah.
That just means these
it's
people...
Just sci-fi authors say.
Yeah. It's so entertaining, but I could endlessly watch an episode of that and just... It would, like, if I watched it and reacted to it as it was on, it would take so long to get through an hour episode.
It's difficult. Because you just keep stopping and going, what the fuck? We used to watch it all the time at university, and me and my mate would just get absolutely blazed and watch it and just laugh our fucking asses off. And you'd have to pause it because, like, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah.
And the fucking brilliant thing about that show is you'll have, like, 2 or 3 bits of really interesting information where you're like, how did they do that, though?
Yeah.
And then they go, and this is why. And it's like, no, it isn't. You fucking ruined it. You ruined it.
Yeah, and a lot of the info is legit because, like, you know, these people have looked into it so much. Yeah. Like, you know, that's the annoying part. So much of the info is legit. And it's like they just jump on some wild theory.
Yeah. And so, therefore, aliens. No.
So, therefore,
no.
those are based on lizard people.
No. It's not aliens. No.
It could be.
No.
It definitely could be.
It could be, but it's not. No.
I like that thing about, like, that planet, like, that's coming by again, or they think it could be an asteroid or something that's coming by again, which could be the one that they say they came from.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shit. With the Egyptians, man, it's just so interesting. And all those proper old, there's ones even older than Egyptians, really, that are even more fascinating.
Oh, yeah, there's Sumerians, there's...
the Göbekli Tepe, whoever that was.
There's the whole Hinken stuff.
The ones from blatantly before the Sumerians, they have no idea who did them. Like the Sumerians and the Babylonians or whatever.
It's like this was all built on top of something.
Like,
who the fuck was it built on top of?
And how, like, so much of that stuff fits with, like, you know, the sky back then, how it would have been, the maps and that. It's just, I'm like, how?
And it's like, if these people had this level of knowledge of their skies and stuff like that, they must have had so much extra knowledge about other stuff as well. Because, like, you can't have that much knowledge of the sky and how it moves. And they knew that the Earth was moving around the sun.
Yeah, they knew.
And, like, you can't have that kind of knowledge without understanding a little bit of what gravity is.
And it's not even just that as well, mapping out all the planets.
Yeah.
Like, all of them.
Yeah.
Including Pluto as well at that point.
Yeah. I saw a thing about how they first figured out that the Earth was round and how big it was. And it was literally, there was a guy in, like, I think it was Egypt or something.
Right.
And he was like, when I am standing at this point and the sun is up in the middle of the day, the shadow is directly underneath my camel. If I'm over here and it's the middle of the day, the sun is shining a light that pushes the shadow to the right of my camel.
Right.
And he goes, okay.
It must have gone a long way for that to happen. But
no, because like literally, that's why it's Egypt, because it goes all the way across like Africa and stuff.
Oh, okay,
like that.
so Egypt.
So he was just travelling all the way across all this place, and he started putting it together, and he was like, well, that would mean that the sun is shining on it at a different angle. So what if I put that calculation in? And he actually went, how many miles is that from there to there?
Yeah, I can understand.
And how much difference is that on the angle of the camel? And he did the maths, and he was accurate within 200 miles of the Earth's surface.
Yeah, I heard it was so
it's
accurate.
Fucking crazy.
I understand some of the mathematics and stuff, all that kind of stuff. I understand that, like figuring out the size. There's a huge reference on that you're on, so I get that. But then when it's like figuring stuff out in the sky, I just don't understand how they would do it to a level.
Because you'd have to have some kind of telescope.
At least,
just to be able to see it, you'd have to have some kind of telescope.
It's amazing, but then there's stuff just based on this planet, like one of those maps I showed on one of the recent ones.
Also, a telescope wouldn't survive.
Possibly.
If they made a telescope back in that time, like, no matter how big it is, it's going to fall apart, it's going to disintegrate, it's going to break.
Yeah, because this would have been way before the Egyptians, because I believe, like, the Egyptians built on top of something, I think.
I definitely think so.
I don't know how much I believe on the stuff underneath that we've seen in those recent scans now.
Did you ever watch the movie 10,000 BC?
I think I have, but I know it wasn't that rife with like inaccuracies.
Yeah, it's rife with inaccuracies. It's a total bullshit movie. But the idea of it, of like there being this culture that existed way before we thought culture existed, is a very possible thing.
Yeah.
Like humans have always had the ability to work together, and there's no reason why this couldn't be cyclical, and we've lost a load of knowledge. There's no reason at all why that.
It's kind of hard to argue it nowadays when you look at the stuff that apparently they were like, there was only hunter-gatherers then. And like
moving those giant fucking blocks of stone. They have to have moved that in some way. And like, why? How? Explain it. Explain it to me. Go on.
And like, you say they're hunter-gatherers, like what does that even really mean? Because realistically, are we kind of not hunter-gatherers?
Also,
we just gather from the shop.
We all know that there's like extinction level events that happened that brought the amount of humans on the planet, while we were still like current humans basically, down to 12,000 humans. Yeah, that was it. That was all of the amount of humans that were left on the face of the fucking planet. And anything that would have been known before those people would have been lost to the annals of time and would have become myths and legends. Myths and legends of things like gods who had the ability to control thunder, gods who had the ability, or things that had the ability to decay a man, like
the
instantly.
Great Flood idea and stuff.
Yeah, or giant explosions in the skies that only gods could make. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like the Younger Dryas thing, because I think that's, I was trying to remember then like the timeline with that and people and that, but we would have been around then.
And there's no reason it couldn't have been something that the fucking humans of the time did that didn't render this fucking extinction level event.
Yeah.
You know?
It could like use what you said before about always worrying about igniting the atmosphere and stuff like that. The atmosphere could have been a lot more oxygen. Well, we know it was for a long time, so at that point they might have.
We could have done something horrendous.
That's a good shout, actually. They could have done something like that.
And it could have just been the people who were left underground who survived.
Yeah. There are a few people that just happened to be in places.
Yeah, and that's why they were cave dwellers. Because that was the only fucking safe place left.
Yeah. But the problem is, though, with all these things, it's so hard to really, you'll never really know. The problem is, we could know so much more, but they don't want to go into those areas. They don't want to dig.
They don't want to find that shit.
The stuff we were talking about recently about like under the pyramid and that big debate about how legit that is.
It is. Yeah.
One of them pointed out there is a very easy way to find out. Just dig down. It's not even just in the freaking. I thought it was just underneath the pyramid, but it's so much bigger. Like if you were looking at it above.
Yeah.
So you could just dig outside, like, even though, you could just dig in the pyramid, and because who cares?
Yeah.
Once you know it, you know it.
The last matriarchal society.
Ooh, okay.
This is the last one we've got. This is the Mosno tribe in China. This is a very interesting one. Okay. So, between the borders of China's Sichuan and Yunnan provinces lies Lugu Lake. It's the home of the Mosu tribe, the last standing matriarchal society who have lived there for centuries. At the core of their tradition, women are seen as more valuable than men, make the majority of decisions, and have more autonomy. From a family to sex life, it revolves around the Mauso women's choices and outcomes.
Well, you can see why tribes of that opinion died out, can't you?
But wait, it gets weird, right? So there is a unique tradition from the Moso known as Zohun, walking marriages, where a Moso female reaches an age, they choose their lovers, having as many or as few as they wish within their lifetime. This tradition can be from a one-night stand to a regular hookup or even lifelong partnership. However, couples never live together.
Well, so they can have one partner.
Yeah.
But it can be either it can just be a lover or it can be...
Yeah.
But they can only have one.
No, they can have multiple if they want.
Oh, okay. So they can have like a boy...
they never live together.
A couple...
The husband and wife, even if they are husband and wife, do not live together.
Well, that's interesting.
The husband lives with his family, with his sister, who's like the matriarch of their family, and his wife... Oh,
it's always Spider-Man the Falls. He's just not very balanced.
His wife, who's like the matriarch of, say, a different family across the province, right? He only gets to see her at night. So they go over, he bones down for the night, and then he leaves again. This doesn't sound like something that's a matriarchal society would choose. It sounds like... It sounds like something a patriarchal society would choose, because the dudes are just sitting there going like, I'm doing fucking nothing all day but chilling at home, playing my computer games.
So like the women work and stuff then?
Yeah, the women workers. The men do work as well. They're all like agricultural. But like the
but
dudes
would the
are
men be like the stay-at-home
parents? No, not even that. No, because the men don't have any control over the kids whatsoever.
Okay.
The kids stay with their mother in the matriarchal family.
Oh, I see, and
the father only sees them like on the Chinese New Year, where they go over to his house for the day to pay respects to the father and the family.
They've got to see the dad more than just the one.
Oh, they can go over when like they're doing the walking marriages. The dad goes over, he sees the mum, he sees the kids at the same time. And then they bone down, and then he fucks off for the rest of the day. And like literally, the dudes are literally just walking around the fields, having a chat, having a good time, drinking, all that kind of stuff. And then it's like, the wife's called me over for a fucking. Yeah.
You say this though. The amount of people I know that are in like living with their partner.
Yeah.
You know, like my mates, like with their girlfriends or. I think they're all just girlfriends. Even some got kids. One needs to fucking hurry up and marry his girl. No. Been a long time. Yeah. Anyway, I congress. Yeah, the amount of girls that are living with people, and I used to get it too at one point when I was living with the ex. Yeah. Like, it always come to a case of, just go out for a bit, man. I don't want to be around you. Just leave.
Yeah, just go
out.
Go do something.
Not being around you as well for a while makes them more likely to want to bone when they see you too.
Yeah, that's true.
So I totally get it.
Yeah.
I've been around, I've always been around, like my mom, for example. I feel like I've been around a lot of women growing up.
Yeah.
And that is a common theme, that they're all like, oh, my fucking husband's annoying the hell out of me,
I
or
want
whatever.
to go away for a bit.
Yeah. It's a common thing. If you're around, it's why so many marriages died and partnerships died during lockdown when they're forced to be around each other all the time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. I totally get it. That the woman would be like, fuck off.
Yeah.
I don't want to be around. I only want to see you when I say I see you.
Yeah.
I totally get it. I think that's quite healthy.
Yeah. And like, admittedly, like the family unit still exists. It's just like there is a mother and like all of her like kids and their brothers and stuff, and like
as long as she's got brothers, I guess.
And like all of the kids from the mother's side or any of the women in that side will be with them in that family group working all the fields together.
Oh, I see. So it's like you got family houses.
Yeah. It's just that the father is in a different family house supporting a different set of kids who probably aren't his kids because they're all his sister's kids.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's really strange.
It once again goes to that idea, though, which used to be much more prevalent, which isn't really it kind of goes the other way nowadays. When they used to say to raise a kid, it takes a village.
Yeah, it's communal parenting.
But nowadays, like, people are afraid to, like, give their kids to people because of the kind of people that have been around and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You don't get that as much, that communal thing.
No.
Weirdly though, you know, like where you do get it, in like chavvy areas where you're in a block of flats. I used to have when I was in Maple, we had that proper thing, like that grove that would just help each other constantly. At New Year's, everyone would be congregating around a fucking block of flats. Outside it would be like a tradition.
Right. There are some things here though as well.
Shameless life, man, this one. This is the matriarchal tribes. Did you lose your place?
Again, I wanted to check this one again, just to be sure.
Right, okay, I like.
And there are some, according to IMDb, myths and controversies.
Always.
So, outsiders often believe the following myths. Most women have many partners. Now, as I said before, they can have many partners.
So we don't that much.
This is one of those things. It's like, it's frowned upon, but it's not impossible.
Like marrying your cousin here.
Yeah, exactly. It's frowned upon, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, people would be like,
people have done it. People have continued to do it. They've, like the throuple thing is something that can exist in this. It's just, it's not forever.
It's frowned upon because they know the husband can't really do anything about it, and it's just like the other way around. If it was a guy forcing the woman into it,
it feels a little bit,
just mean.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Fathers of children are commonly not known. Now, this is something that was mentioned on a couple of articles.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's like they said, oh yeah, well they'd only know by dropping hints, and it's like that doesn't make sense. And it's like, no, that doesn't make sense. They don't do that. The way they do it is like, you know who your dad is, because you go and see him every fucking year at New Year's, so you definitely know who your dad is.
They've got no reason to hide it because they can do what they want.
Yeah, and in fact, it's frowned upon to not know where your kid is from, more so than having multiple partners.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
because you should know in this situation. You definitely should know.
Definitely should fucking know. Yeah.
I know it's a bit morbid, but I'm interested to know like the rape kind of charge levels there.
I mean, yeah, I imagine it's probably not that high.
You'd think so, but then again, is there like this like group of guys that just feel emasculated
or I don't know,
or feel like
those people can leave the province and just go to somewhere else in China.
Ah, good point.
It's all part of China.
Some people think they can't move though. Or,
yeah,
I mean, like
maybe, but I think that's sort of you could just go to Beijing.
If it's not, if you haven't seen bits about it on there, then maybe it's not that much of an issue.
Maybe. Good idea. Worth bringing up.
I mean, it'd be interesting just to know, like,
the reaction just to know the statistics of it. Yeah.
The reaction of like the people that live there. That might be an interesting thing to look at in the future. Yeah. Like scoping on a few of these things and looking a bit more in depth.
Yeah. Because this has been fascinating.
Yeah, it's been great.
Because literally, I had a little idea of this at the start of the day. I was like, I wonder if I'll just Google that. And I Googled one thing, and it was like, oh my God. And it just fucking so much stuff.
I know what you mean. Sometimes you have an idea, you put it in like, yep.
Yeah.
So I'm going.
This is a good one. And I want to top this one off with talking about some of the things that I started this with. As I say, Matilda was talking about this this pay pig that her friend has got, who's basically just literally giving her money to embarrass her, and like has offered her embarrass him, and has offered her money to embarrass him publicly and stuff like that.
So it's not even just for some reason.
This guy is full on into embarrassment.
I had it into my head. It was like an online type thing.
No.
Oh, okay. That makes even more sense now.
It's partly online.
It could be online, or you could.
It is online currently, but like he's just paying money to someone because it feels good to him to be dominated in that way, which is really interesting.
Maybe because if he's successful, he could have been around yes men all his life.
Yeah,
and he gets off on somebody
taking advantage of him. Yeah.
The thing about it is like.
There's a big thing with bankers having weird things like that. Yeah. Bankers, like politicians, people in like power who like always get their way, regularly have these like weird kinks about being dominated in some way.
Maybe it's a bit of a sociopathic tendency.
I think it could be.
To be fair, thinking about it, once again, the one person I know that I kind of think might be a bit of a sociopath, totally, that was a bit of her kink too.
Well, that's the thing, because
not necessarily that, but
think about it. It's like an emotion that they can feel.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but it's in their controlled environment, and it's like a sexually charged version of it. So it's even more like, you know what I mean?
I can see it totally.
I can see that totally how it would work in that.
You know who I'm getting in my head over and over? That I don't think it was ever talked about in the film, but I could totally imagine him being one of these.
Yeah.
Patrick Bateman.
You know who else I think?
Go on.
Boris Johnson.
Probably though. I don't want to think about that at all. It was bad enough earlier when I mentioned Rabbi Shmuley having a sex toy
with his
daughter, and then I had an image of it.
Yeah.
Him. Squashing onto a butt plug. And naked.
Oh dear.
That's something that nobody should have to imagine. But I had to imagine it, so...
Get ready to imagine some worse things, because this is a list of fetishes you didn't know existed from
we'll see.
thenuggetonline.com.
There's a fetish for nuggets, ironically.
Figging. Do you want to guess?
Go on.
This is a little question.
Oh, okay,
this is a little.
It's so hard for.
What do you think figging involves?
Figging, something to do with like a small poop, like a fig roll.
No. Okay. Do you want a hint?
Yes.
Okay. So it involves inserting something.
Not much of it. Okay. A fig roll?
Not a fig roll. Not a fig roll.
Like a fig stick.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like you would think that with figging, kind of but it's not. It's not fig. It's something that's going to give you more of a sort of woo kind of sensation.
The cat's interested in this.
Mm-hmm.
Ice.
Not ice. Do you want me to tell you?
Go on.
Ginger.
Oh, I never would have guessed that.
Like shaved down ginger root so that it's like bare and open, and people just go, oh, right up there. Oh, they're just like, oh, a little bit of ginger.
Was that like tingly or something?
Yeah, apparently. Careful with
the tingly stuff, though, trust me.
Inserting raw peeled ginger up one's anus or vagina to feel a burning sensation. The pure sacrilege against ginger, one of nature's best medicines, isn't there a lube that does the same thing? Well asked, and that Nugget Online, well asked.
There's some natural, herbal sex aids, I guess.
Yeah. Actirasti.
Actirasti?
Yeah. Do you want to guess what this one is?
I'm worried that it's like... fucking someone with a Rastafarian accent or something.
No. It's a sensation that you get.
Okay. Is that like the Iron Curtain?
It's a sensation you get that you almost have to be outside for, at least near a big window.
Oh, okay. So some kind of like draft. It's like a draft on your butt.
It's not a draft.
Like a windy butthole.
No. It's the sun, Carl.
Oh,
it's being sexually aroused by the warmth of the sun.
That's weird. God, them people need to live in Iceland or something. God, imagine if they went to Miami.
Imagine if that motherfucker was walking around the Middle East.
Just ejaculating like this. God, if they were a woman, man, they would be fucking dehydrated constantly over there. You'd need like a gallon of water with you.
Gushing underneath them like a slug.
Well, I suppose you could walk around like maybe that's what vampires were all about. That's why the woman, the JFK woman that everyone was all like talking about.
Yeah.
When like, the person with the umbrella so that was being all chill.
Yeah. And
they were like, what's he doing? Look at all this going by. Because as soon as he took that umbrella down, he just started ejaculating again.
He just started nutting.
Figured it out. No, I did not think there would be people. They must live in a cold area.
It must be. Like
an Inuit.
Yeah.
Someone who lives in an igloo and
Either
stuff.
that or they lost their virginity when they were outside or something like that, and they've got like a sexual connection to it.
Yeah,
like warmth of the sun on them because it was during the summer or something in a hayfield.
We could go darker and say something happened to them.
We could do that, but I'm not going to say that.
But that, is probably more likely.
But unfortunately, that's usually where this kind of thing starts. And sometimes not even through a sexual thing. Sometimes it's just something traumatic that somehow weirdly gets grafted to it. But there we go.
That's how poo normally gets into it.
Right, there's hybristophilia. Philia just always makes it sound worse.
Yeah, so give me an idea what kind of things these are then, because it's hard to guess, if one was an act, one was something that got them horny.
Yeah. So this one is more related to the person's mentality. Yeah, this is what gets you horny. Yeah, this is a fetish. That
I realise because of philia. That's like you know. So
yeah, this is
what is it again?
This one is hybristophilia. So this one is more to do with someone's personality.
Oh, okay. I was about to say there's not something to do with like blood.
No.
Okay.
No.
Would this be like a really what would be the word? Controlling person that likes being controlled.
Not far off. It's less that. It's more in the opposite direction, right? It's someone who's looking for someone who's a bit dangerous.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the bad boy.
Yeah.
That's so common.
Specifically, criminals.
Oh, okay.
Like
also so
you
common.
have to have a criminal record to get inside this cooch.
Not necessarily. So many. Oh, got you. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
For this particular person, you'd have to have a criminal record to get inside
what cooch
their
meant.
Cooch.
Yeah. I was thinking cooch meant like the cell. I was like, no, they don't need to have a criminal record. But
yeah.
The cooch.
There's eproctophilia.
That's another one like that again. So, the ground?
No. This is more wind-based.
I think twisters get them horny.
No.
Go on then.
Something that you could do sitting on the couch at home.
Blowing?
Farting.
Oh! I like a good farter.
Oh, yeah. Brazilian fart fetish porn is officially known as eproctophilia.
Okay, that makes sense.
If you're sitting there and you're watching a woman fart and you're like, oh, you've got eproctophilia. And don't worry, you're not alone. There's loads of other people who have it too.
So common. It's another one that's so common. There's whole categories on Pornhub and stuff.
There's people who like love the huffing of it as well. They want to huff that shit. There was a really famous poem by like
somebody sold a fart to someone. I know that.
Yeah.
In a jar.
No, but it's even better. There's a famous something Joyce, a poet, right?
Right.
And he was writing a letter to his wife while he was drunk. And he sent it and he was like, oh, your farts are so fantastic. I love the smell of your sweet, delicious farts when they flap out of your arse. A big flappy arse that gives extra notes to this flatulence. And like he sends a letter afterwards. It's like, I'm so sorry. I said no while I was drunk. I'm so sorry.
Well, she should know. God, drunk letter writing. You never think about that, do you?
It's just like you always think about sending a drunk text, not sending a drunk letter where he's had to write out the entire letter pissed as a fart, put it into a thing, seal it with some wax, stroll on down to the post box.
Yeah, it's such a long process. By the time he's even being picked up, he's already sobered up.
Yeah, he's like, oh God, it's in the post box. Fuck.
Hopefully it's illegible as fuck, though. If you're that drunk, then, you know.
It was pretty legible. Everyone knows what it said.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's great.
There's metrophilia, which is... I'm just going to go through these now.
Yeah, go on.
Poetry always hits people differently. Sometimes it's in their hearts or brains, and some people, it's in their pants. Some people get turned the fuck on by poetry.
Wow, okay, so I guess that's why Shakespeare got so...
Yeah, Shakespeare
popular.
got down.
Oh, he must have. You know Shakespeare got down loads. Even though he was married to a famous...
It's just like rappers. Rappers get down all the time. It turns out
that's true, actually.
Like women like a guy who fucking knows how to rap or knows how to rhyme.
There probably is something to that, actually, though. That's probably what a lot of the rap groupies are, without realising it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They don't even realise it, but they are metrophiliacs.
You do hear some girls getting really turned on when a guy is like just like sitting
spitting
there
bars.
rapping, and it's like it's really, it's not even that it's bad. It's like there's no tune to it. There's no nothing. It's like, why are you so into this?
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. He's just dreamy. that I never understand. It's usually BDE, to be fair.
Big dick energy. That's a huge part of it too.
It's usually 9 times out of 10. If you're wondering why this person's
it's like confidence.
Yeah, it's just confidence, and like BDE, big dicks give you confidence.
That's what I exhumed like crazy when I was a slag, just on purpose, because you realise this very quickly. The more of a dick and just confident and straight up and that, they react to it.
Yeah.
I've always said as well, the more of a dickhead you are, they react to. The people that I've known have been the biggest slags, are people that are so much more that don't have a conscience when it comes to it. I could do it for a bit and then realise and didn't like it. Went to the point now where I'm essentially celibate.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather that. I'd rather wait until I'm in a good relationship again.
Yeah, I think that's healthy.
Yeah, I do. But then, you know, people that never grow out of it.
No, some people can't actually focus on themselves in that way long enough to make that decision.
I don't see how people can't be really
conscious.
Like self-reflective,
self-aware,
self-aware, like really try to put
yourself in other people's shoes.
Yeah. I mean, it probably sounds silly coming from me to some people with the reaction of some stuff I have said online. And that. But to me, I was always, I don't know.
You're always standing by your principles.
Yeah. I mean, I've learned that, you know, some of my stuff doesn't come across as, might be the part of the autism and all that stuff. I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't really care. To me, I like it.
Let's get through.
You call it what you want.
Yeah, last couple of these. Dendrophilia, connecting with nature means something different to everyone. Some for the love go out for the long walk. Some because it gives them a big old fucking hard on.
That's why Nathan goes for walks so much.
Really love trees. They're like, you know, So you talk about tree hugging and stuff like that, and hippies and like that's a thing that is.
Could have come from that.
It's probably where that came from.
Probably.
And knowing hippies at the time, this guy would have been like, no, I literally get turned on by trees. And they're like, oh my God, that's so cool. So do I.
I can imagine it. Definitely, I know the people that fuck trees.
Yeah.
There's people that fuck
There's
inanimate
people
objects.
fuck everything. Yeah, that's an interesting
people that get turned on by roller coasters and shit.
Yeah, there was a whole series of documentaries where it was like people getting turned on by cars and stuff.
Yeah.
There was one where this guy literally, he was like, they were hanging out with him and he was like married to his Volkswagen Beetle. And he used to jizz on his Beetle and like fuck the tailpipe and shit like that. But he was like, oh no, it's an open relationship. I'm allowed to see other cars.
Is she allowed to?
And like literally they're recording out their window as he fucks the tailpipe of their rental car.
That's why they let him. I hope they gave him consent.
I mean, but to
be fair, I know somebody when I was in college. I knew somebody that put his dick in a radiator.
Oh God,
he used to put his dick in a lot of things. Apparently, he would tell us.
Yeah, I put my dick in this. Well, aren't you a pioneer? Tell us how it goes.
One of his favourite was a soft toy that he got.
Yeah,
he put his dick in that.
Wow.
He put his dick in everything. He put his dick in like disc tray. He's tried to anyway.
Why would you try and put your dick in a disc tray?
He tried everything.
You can't put a dick in a disc tray.
I think it might have been more, you know, like when you have the disc trays that come out and they have the hole in the middle. Like
and it's just gonna go on your penis.
That's hard, is it? It's not slamming on it.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be comfortable. Is it?
Keeps trying to close, doesn't it? So you keep doing it. Depends where you place it, I guess.
Oh, no.
I don't know. I never went into that much detail with him.
No.
It was the guy, you know, I said whose friend we destroyed on that night out.
Yeah.
It was him.
Oh, right. Fucking Jesus Christ. Nismolonia.
Nismolonia.
Tickling and being horny by it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I can see that.
Sexual arousal by tickling.
I could see how that would happen more.
I can see it's a thing. It's actually a type of like BDSM thing again.
Yeah.
Like the submission to being tickled because you can't do anything about it. And in like, even though you're laughing, it can be quite an unpleasant experience if it goes on for too long.
Yeah.
But these people are going like at the same time. So
because it's the combination of it there as well. Because I can imagine somebody having that would also have a lot of the dominating stuff too, like to be dominated. Yeah, and I can see how that would happen.
The everyone knows like the feather being tickled along the foot and stuff like that.
The whole time
when you're strapped in.
I can imagine how it would happen as well because there's some people as soon as you touch them and stuff, they're ticklish everywhere. Yeah, they're having sex every time. I can imagine that being the part of it. And just after time, you know,
you associate
they got into
the two. Yeah.
I could totally imagine because I've been with girls that are like, as soon as you touch them, they're ticklish.
And it probably makes you clench up a little bit and like tighten up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, it's good. Laughing's the best thing.
Like,
for a guy, like making a girl laugh and having sex with them, it's great.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Yeah.
So having a show in the middle of it, it's like getting stand up.
Wow.
What's that?
You know what that is? It's the sides of the walls as they go.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
the image that I hope other people have too when you feel certain stuff like with stuff that goes on in there.
Yeah.
You imagine, like, you know, the stuff that goes through my head, I imagine, like I said, I used to imagine like pulling out the clit and like there'll be a little leprechaun on there.
Yeah.
So I imagine when they're doing that, like, you know, with some games that you're playing, there's like a giant cavern and there's like walkways of wood like all along the edgeways. I'm imagining that, like when, like, you know, the vagina wall's going everywhere, and like, everyone on there's like, "Oh, hold on!"
Like when they're trying to get the Millennium Falcon out of that fucking space worm on the asteroid.
Yeah, sure. I don't know, sure.
Agoraphilia.
Outside.
The sexual attraction to being outside.
Agoraphobia.
Just the very breath of fresh air makes your dick twinge.
Well, if you only have sex outside, I can imagine that.
Yeah.
It was very, for a long period of time, I was only having sex outside.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
That's what you do.
You got an opportunity. It's private enough. No one's around.
Well, we used to chill in a big forest.
It was one of my preferred porn categories for a bit.
Really? That's weird.
No, because like
that makes sense. Like we said a second ago, how you love. That's why you love going for walks.
Yeah.
You get turned on by the trees. Of course, you're going to want to watch porn videos outside. It makes perfect sense. Yeah. Like you, the willies going in and out, and you're just eyes fixated on the leaves that are stuck to her.
It was only for a while, and then
look
it
at
changed.
that Jervy bush.
Like, I'd seem to change porn category every like 2 or 3 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Mine's like every 2 or 3 like watches.
Oh, I'll switch between others, but I'll have a main category that lasts for like 2 or 3 years. It started out Asian. Then
I don't think I've ever clicked that.
Yeah, no, Asian was pretty good for a bit. Then it was big tits.
No, it's not.
That was good. This was like when I was younger though, you know what I mean? So we're sort of working our way.
Actually, when I was younger, one of the first porn DVDs I had, this was when I was in secondary school, when it was like, you know, some people had wrestling tape trading, we had porn DVD trading.
Yeah.
And it was an Asian one.
There you go. Yeah.
It looked good. It did what it needed.
Yeah. Then I moved into MILF.
Yeah.
MILF's got me through some good times.
Same, but they were actual MILFs.
Yeah.
I did go through a period of banging MILFs, I don't know why.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
I think it's because
as we've learned, it's something that happens all over the fucking world, apparently.
I think as well, once you've had like kids with somebody, you respect mums even more as well.
Yeah.
I've always been into strong women, so I think it was another thing, you know. Yeah. But then I know people that actually are attracted to people when they're pregnant. They find that so hot when someone's pregnant. I've known nicest guy ever. Never would have thought that of him. That's so weird to me. So weird. I don't think he even knew why. He was just this the one tutor walked in who was in college, and she was really pregnant, and he just unloaded on me and told me all about it.
Dude, I can't help it. Oh my god, it's so hot. Have you seen that she's pregnant? Oh my god.
The look on his face when he told me that his girlfriend was pregnant.
Oh god.
He was so happy.
So happy.
So happy.
That is 9 months of pure joy.
To him, yeah. So yeah, man, that's definitely a thing.
Oh dear. Yeah, no, it turns out that there's loads of different things all across the world that make people horny in various ways. There's all sorts of different ways of dealing with sex that other cultures have done. That we never would have thought of doing if it was just the old traditional European way. It's fascinating to see that, you know, sex isn't the same everywhere. It's not always seen in this same way as like this is something you should be careful about. You should be only doing with these people. It's like, no, fucking experiment. Learn how to be good at fucking.
Problem is though, sometimes it goes to the detriment. Sometimes it goes to the positive, other times it goes to the detriment.
Of course it can.
Yeah.
But that's the same with our system as well. It's the same with
that's
any
what I mean
system.
with all the systems.
Oh yeah. But it's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. And like, sex isn't something we've really talked about on Squishy Logic all that much, because it's never been like, we've always talked about the murder, we've always talked about the drugs, we've always talked about this, and you know, now we're doing
everybody's into sex.
Yeah, we've done the sex, we've done the drugs and the rock and roll. Now we're doing the sex.
Yeah.
Filling out the trio.
How we do the drugs as we go.
Yeah, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, babe. That's what Squishy Logic's all about. Yeah.
Sex, drugs, and murder.
Yeah. At some point, we should probably do another Squishy Logic as like a follow-up to this.
Yeah, definitely.
Which would be like,
Like
where do fetishes come from?
That's interesting.
That would be really fascinating. The
side
psychological side of it. Where does this shit emanate from? You know what I mean?
A lot of people before experiments too, trying to logically figure it out, but then there'll be a lot of people that have already done that as well with other things.
Back when I was watching Two Bears, One Cave with Bert Kreischer.
Back when it was alright.
Yeah, back with Tom Kreischer and Tom Kreischer. Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura.
They do feel like one person, I understand.
So when I was watching that, like, Bert did talk about a time where he found out that he was, like, he had a fetish for women in quicksand.
What?
I know, it's weird, right?
What?
Yeah, but apparently this isn't something that's just him. This is, like, quite a common one. And he was talking to, like, a porn star, and he was like, oh, yeah, I've got this fetish. And she's like, how old are you? And he said, 50, or 52 or whatever it is, you know. And she goes, oh, right, so, yes, so quicksand, yeah? And what? Apparently it's, like, generational things as well can be, like, a reoccurring, like, thing that happens. So, like...
Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones, or, like, at least those kinds of movies. There was, like, a time in, like, the 70s and the 80s where shitloads of movies just had quicksand in it. Because it was an easy effect to do, and it was an easy episode to make, so you just put all of these adventures in quicksand for an episode, right? And it allows you to go back and, like, go back in time and do clips or something, or while they're trying to get their way out as, like, inspiration or whatever. Like, you can use a quicksand episode for all sorts of shit. But that meant there were loads of kids out there watching these episodes with, like, women in quicksand who were, like, really hot, like Xena Warrior Princess or this or that or the other, or, like, the romancing the stone or fucking whatever the fuck else it was.
I'm sure there's got to be some Star Wars in there.
Yeah, it's got to be all that kind of shit. Yeah.
We talk about sand a lot.
Yeah. But that's got to be a thing that's worth talking about.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah. That's weird though, the quicksand one.
Yeah,
that's really strange to me. But then anything about Kreischer, I don't get him. So
that's fair.
Well, no, I do get him. Some of his stuff's actually kind of funny.
Yeah,
I haven't watched
Secret Time is legit funny. Is
that the new one?
Yeah, that was I think that was the one before the new one.
Oh yeah, the one. I can't pick what it's called. I don't think it's called
Secret Time. Yeah.
No, I mean the new one.
Oh, the new one. Yeah, I don't know what that was.
But okay.
Yeah,
I enjoyed that. No, we should definitely touch on that again.
It was fucking fascinating. Anyway, so let's talk about some other topics at the end of the show.
Yeah. One thing
there you go.
I want to mention. But 100% I do want to jump into more of them.
Yeah.
I can't believe that I've never thought about bringing up a sex topic, to be fair.
I know, right? It took me to bring it up.
It's weird, but it's like I said, I've been
the Mac Daddy a dickin'.
I've been purposely like celebrating over the last few years. So it's not surprising.
This might awaken something in you. this awakening of sexuality in the squishy.
I genuinely think I'm past it. Yeah. I think I got so much out of. I think it kind of helped you to get it out of you early.
I think it probably is. There was a bit in John
to certain
Lithgow's
people, not everybody is the same.
Yeah, there's a bit in John Lithgow's autobiography where he talks about the fact that he got married really young and like had a stable family and kids and was working as an actor and doing all this kind of stuff. And then like when he got to his like 40s, 50s, he just fell off the rails and just started dicking everything that moved. He's like, I can't help anymore.
It happens a lot.
Yeah, and it does seem to happen a lot, unfortunately. Yeah.
But away from that then, like I said, for the past weekend, before we get into that actually, Doctor Who.
Okay, yeah.
Doctor Who. Yes. So you say you haven't been watching it for a while?
I haven't watched any of it for ages.
Why?
I just haven't. It just ain't my vibe no more, you know? Do do do, boom boom boom, bim bim boom.
I don't know how I changed the. I was gonna make it smaller, but I can't. I don't know why I can't change the size of things. Maybe because it's playing actually.
Yeah. Boom bing boom.
Fuck it.
Bim bim ba ba ba, bee bee ba ba dee, boom ba 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 bim bam boom.
This is the old episode anyway. I don't even want this episode. Fuck's sake. Okay, forget it.
Yeah.
No, I thought the first episode of the new season, I was surprised, was good.
Oh.
I was really surprised. I've been even the first season with this new guy.
Yeah.
Shooty.
Shooty
Gatwa. The first season wasn't that great because they shoehorned a lot of fucking political correctness shit in there and.
It's gonna happen.
Which they always do, yeah. But this season they've been so much more chill already. It's only 2 episodes in, though. That's the thing. The first episode, they did have something where they called the guy the king of the incels. Something about that, but it was very mindless. I was like, okay.
King of the incels is something that's kind of a good fucking gag if it's deployed correctly. Anyway, that's a good punchline if you use it right.
People were more bothered about the fact that the main thing was like an AI-centric idea.
Right.
And they were complaining about AI because it's so everywhere now. And I'm like, yeah.
Well, that's why they're doing a story about it.
And they kind of missed the idea as well that he just assumed it was AI. It was actually Al. And there was the reveal that it was the guy that she used to know and stuff. And
right.
that was the episode before. This episode was even better because he had like this cartoon guy. Right. There was a lot of cartoon vibes in it and that.
Okay.
And it's just there was no at all like no kind of political correctness kind of message in this one whatsoever.
Yeah.
The nearest you get to it is the fact that it was the 50s and they made a point about how like it's not the safest place for them in America in the 50s.
I mean,
which is you should, but that was all. They kind of made a point about it.
The fact is, though, as well, is that the world has changed a lot from when Doctor Who started, but the original Doctor Who was woke as fuck for its time as well. Doctor Who has always been one that's kind of woke, and it's the same with Star Trek as well. Star Trek has always been kind of woke. It's always about, all these different cultures. They come together. They work together perfectly. Everyone's happy. Everyone has their own religion. Everything's fine. Everything's perfect. And there's no problems. And it's like...
Maybe it never bothered me before because the world needed to be woke, but woke's gone too far now because the world's a lot more open.
But this is the thing. I think there's an overlap in what people say is woke now to what is like... just normal. Like there's and the problem is like there's such a gap over what one person thinks overly woke and one person thinks overly woke. It means that this term has become just so fucking nebulous at this point.
Yeah.
It's like culture war. If someone talks about culture war at this point, I'm like, it just feels like you're trying to invoke something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think there's a culture war.
No, I think there's individual people doing stupid shit, and that's definitely something that should be called out. But like,
but they're like the YouTubers that are getting just fucked now. There's like 3 YouTubers now that are getting fucked in different countries.
Good, stop being cunts.
There was Jolly Somali.
Yeah.
There was that Vitali
guy. Now there's 2 other guys who've been kicked out of 2 other different fucking countries.
Oh, I know about the one that's been arrested.
There was a guy who got kicked out of South Korea because they're like, we're not having another Jolly Somali out.
Oh, I heard something about that, yeah.
And there was another guy who got kicked out of fucking Israel, which is another place that Johnny Somali got kicked out of. Oh, so this is now just the thing as well for fucking dumbass streamers to do is like, I'm going to get some clout. Yeah, you're going to get some clout for like a week, and then... you're going to fucking jail, you idiot.
Because there's somebody who's been arrested and is facing at least 5 years.
Yeah.
I can't think who it is, but the name or anything. I don't even know if it was a big guy. But he went to an uncontacted tribe.
Oh, I saw that.
Uncontacted,
that was another thing that set this off as well. It was like uncontacted tribes and all that. That's a different way of looking at the world. All that kind of shit,
Yeah, true. That makes sense. I don't know why I never thought about it until now, actually.
Yeah.
That's weird.
But it's like, for fuck's sake, like, these people, they're so stupid. They're so fucking dumb, and they don't understand that they're dumb. That's what's most amazing. They are the Dunning-Kruger effect. You know what the Dunning-Kruger effect is?
Yeah.
They are right in the middle of that bell curve. Right slap bang in the middle of that bell curve, where they're
at the top.
They're at the top, sorry. They're right at the top of that fucking bell
curve.
First curve.
Mm-hmm.
They got no fucking idea what's going on.
Yeah. They think they know everything, and they don't understand anywhere near enough to understand how little they know.
They know fucking nothing.
Some of them are going to learn quickly.
Yeah.
Being in a what was it? What was the 2 where they've Johnny Somali and the other one? One of them was one South Korea.
Yeah.
And the other one's...
Philippines. Yeah, Vitali's Philippines.
I don't know where the new guy is.
You do not want to fuck with the Philippines.
Nah,
the Philippines put drug dealers to death.
Yeah. But the fucking... Well, that means there's no drug dealers in the prison, at least. But they're chill.
Their prisons are not good.
Yeah, drug dealers are pretty chill. But they're just trying to sell you a product.
Yeah. But that's it. And Vitali was not just trying to sell a product. Vitali was being a prick.
He was being a prick.
He's going to go into a very nasty prison for as long as they can keep him there until the Americans go, right, we've got to get him out at this point because otherwise it's a fucking problem.
They're not going to let him out until that fucking his whole finger's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Until he's a wreck.
He'll just be a fucking a hollow human in comparison once he leaves. He will see shit in that jail and experience shit in that jail that he has never experienced in his entire life.
Let's hope to God he hasn't got a big following in there, though.
He won't
Sometimes
have a
that can all it takes.
Those people in there will fucking hate him.
Yeah, because that thing he did most recently was just insulting the whole. There was no respect to any of the country.
Expect him to be talking.
They like respect there.
The minute he's in there, he's getting shivved in the first week.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
There is a counter on your head in that first week that you are getting shivved within that time.
I mean, they might not try to kill him. It might be more trying to fuck him over.
It'll just be a punishment thing.
Yeah.
They'll know where to stab him without killing him. They'll just give him a really nasty stab and just teach him a lesson and let him know where he is. And then he will have a horrible, horrible few years.
What a damn shame. I don't know where the one that did the uncontacted tribe is going to prison now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
I think it's off of. Oh, I can't remember.
I don't know, or whether, but I don't know if he's going to prison now anyway, or if he'll be back in America or whatever.
Fuck it. He should just.
I don't know with that one.
They're just so stupid.
It is, but what do you expect? But I've tried to hold it back this whole time though, because like I said, for the last 5 days or so, I have just been watching wrestling.
Yeah.
There's been so much wrestling.
So much wrestling.
I've still missed a bit as well because there's so much, not just the straight up WWE stuff, but that's what I'm focusing on. Yeah, SmackDown on Friday.
It's Wrestlemania off.
WrestleMania. It's 2 nights, man. WrestleMania night 1 on Saturday, WrestleMania night 2 on Sunday, and then you had a lot of people don't realise how awesome the Raw after WrestleMania always is. Yesterday,
I saw my mate's posts. He was there. Oh, WrestleMania.
What a dick!
In Las Vegas.
He wasn't anywhere near the front, was he?
I don't think so.
Cool, because he might have died.
But he did take some photos of with like Jey Uso and people going like.
He won the title too. Yeah. The people in the front row. At one point basically on night 2, Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know him.
Oh yeah.
He could have destroyed it all.
Yeah. And
I don't know why they let him do this again. But he comes out on a big, beefy ATV, like he does sometimes on the big ones. And when he comes out right away and turns the corner, I'm like, yo, you only just made that corner, man. And this is the elevated ramp where if he'd have gone up, he would have just slid into the crowd. I was like, okay, well, at least you're on the ground now. And he revs down there so quick. I'm like, fucking hell. And he goes round the ring so quick. I'm like, and then he makes it all the way around. Like, oh, okay, cool, I can chill now. Because I can't help but worry when I watch these things now. I think since I got kids and that, I'm becoming an empathetic bastard. And then he starts doing it again. I'm like, no, don't do it again. I felt so worried the first time. And it was almost like I knew what was coming. Yeah. Because he went round, and he got to the other bit, and he revved it, and didn't make the corner at all. Went straight into the barrier, into people. There's him and a giant ATV, a barrier, and then people. Yeah. Straight there.
So people were getting hit by him and then into people behind them.
But luckily the barrier hardly fucking moved because then barriers are fucking tough, man.
Because they know they've got a twat on an ATV.
No, but they're the same barriers they always use. Like, that wasn't anything. They were not designed for that.
Jesus.
They just are designed for all the force that the wrestlers can do.
God damn.
And I guess that's comparable to an ATV. Yeah,
a couple of big fat guys jumping over a fucking thing. That probably is comparable.
It was crazy, man.
Jesus.
And I swear he looked drunk as hell when he was riding it as well.
What a fucking shock.
Yeah. People think I've been drinking loads of beer. No, it's probably been drinking wine, to be honest. Yeah. That's what Stone Cold actually drinks.
Yeah.
But, I was just...
What
that bit was crazy.
Yeah, that is mad.
But
that is wrestling in a fucking nutshell, though.
Yeah.
Like
there was something on the first night as well. I swear that was a bit like oh god, that wasn't. I can't remember what it was now because it got totally overshadowed by that for me. So that kind of ruined it for me. It took me out of it a bit. But then every match was so awesome and had so much going on and so many surprises that I instantly forgot again. Because I think after this, somebody came back that had been out for 2 years. And she was just not going to come back. She was like a parent and stuff now. And then she just randomly came back. And then on Raw, she randomly beat the shit out of her mates.
I did consider saying, should we do a live, watch-along with WrestleMania?
I wouldn't.
But
2 days.
That would have been...
It started at 12 and they went about... It was 3 hours 40 minutes at least, something like that. The proper shows.
Like I wouldn't
might
be
have
getting,
been over 4.
I wouldn't be getting back to sleep until about like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that's if you make it through. Even me, like I struggle. I fell asleep so many times, like I always do, and I'd wake up as soon as I realised, pause it, go back a load, and then go back from where I was. Yeah. Usually it gets me till the next morning. Like I think I watched the main event with Rhodes and Cena.
Yeah.
The next morning on Monday, I think it was Monday morning. I actually watched that properly. And it was a terrible match, but John Cena, it's cool. He's already come out like the next day on Raw, and he was like, "I am going to run out." I got, showed the dates he's got left. 27 dates. It's like, that's not matches, that's the appearances. And then I take this title home, and I'll be the last real world champion. Nobody's been around as long as me, etc. And then he gets RKO'd by Randy Orton out of nowhere, because like the one guy who's been around as long as him. It's like, yeah, okay, this is cool.
That's pretty good.
There was so much that happened.
Yeah.
So much. People were pissy that The Rock didn't come back, like, because he's been doing so much again, like, over the last few months. Like, the whole John Cena and Rhodes match was based around The Rock.
Yeah.
He was involved in everything.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
But Travis Scott came out in the middle of it, though. Because he was there with him. He was there with John Cena and The Rock when they did the heel turn on Cody. Because he was just like an entourage type thing. He got beat up a bit though because he hurt Cody in that fight.
Right.
But like, actually for real, the only thing he did was he slapped him and he popped his eardrum.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
The only one thing he did. But yeah, in all fairness, they probably told him to lay in.
Yeah.
And if they're asking him to do it, they shouldn't have. He probably didn't expect any different. But he appeared randomly in the middle of it.
What was like the standout?
Meek.
What was the standout match?
Oh, there were a few, Andy. Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns triple threat for the main event of night one was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Because it ended up going a way that nobody expected as well, which kind of sets up storylines for what they already carried on Monday. Like the guy that was picking between the two in it the whole time suddenly sided with the other guy at the end.
Right, yeah.
It's like, what is happening? Yeah. What the fuck is going on?
Wrestling loves that.
It's great.
Wrestling loves what the fuck is going on?
But not just for the sake of it anymore, like Vince McMahon used to. He would just do something for the sake of it, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio got injured just before it as well, unfortunately. He had a match on Friday for some reason, and he got injured on the most nothing thing. Yeah. I was just watching it, and I suddenly noticed he wasn't in the match anymore.
Right.
And I tried to find the point when he last did something, and it was that hurt him, but I still couldn't find it because it was so nothing. Just him getting pulled out the ring like he has done so many times. Like Travis Scott did to a referee in that match.
Yeah.
And that's all that happened to Rey Mysterio, and snapped his groin.
Oh.
He's had like stem cells put into him in different places so many times, so that might be it for him now. But they replaced him with like another luchador.
You don't want to snap a groin though.
No, it can't be fun.
That can't be good.
Ray Phoenix faced him instead. El Grande Americano.
El Grande Americano.
Who is this guy, Chad Gable, who is just he's an ex-Olympian, he's awesome. But he was getting beaten by a load of luchadors, so he decided to go to Mexico to figure out the art of lucha libre. And there's videos of him travelling around these different bars and that, and he found someone in the end. He had to meet him at the back to get something to help him, and he opened the box and it was just glowing gold out of it, and that's all you saw. And the next time you saw, there was suddenly this guy that had appeared, El Grande Americano. It was just him with a mask on.
Yeah.
Every now and then he'll put
I've seen posts about the El Grande Americano shit.
Because people were pissy about the video that they made, because some people were pissy because they were saying it takes the mick out of lucha libre culture, pretending there was this guy that nobody's just heard of. Yeah. Some people were pissy because it was AI made, because some people had 6 fingers. So different people were angry for different reasons.
Weird.
Yeah. I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then he won in this too. Because now they've just bought this new company, AAA. It's a Mexican luchador company. They've just managed to buy it, so there's this whole next thing now. This guy who was in AEW not long ago was in. Oh, that was another crazy thing that happened at AEW.
All right.
Sorry, at Mania. Randy Orton, he was supposed to face Kevin Owens at Mania.
Okay.
But Kevin Owens had to get neck surgery like a few weeks ago.
Right.
So he last minute couldn't do it, and they had to find like a replacement person for him.
Right.
And with all the different ideas, and I was like, it's going to be this person, this person. The person it was, shocked, you know it. Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
Oh, fucking hell, Joe Hendry.
I believe in it. Fucking here in Mania. In his own entrance, the whole crowd just being like, when it's like, wave your hands from side to side and say, and it's just everyone doing it.
Jesus Christ.
The crowd was crazy.
Yeah.
The size of it. It was 67,000 people each night.
Jesus.
Fucking ridiculous, man. Filling up a giant stadium in Las Vegas.
I mean, it's getting big again.
Oh, it's huge.
It's getting big.
The price of tickets is crazy. Well, I'm never going to be able to go wrestling again. Like the cheapest tickets for a Raw that they're doing, I don't know.
Like $160 or something.
Probably more than that, man. But I like the tickets are like $5,000 and shit. Oh. Some of the ticket packages for Mania that you could buy with like I saw these people that were in for the Friday and the Monday in the smaller stadiums and the Saturday and the Sunday in the big stadium for Mania. These people in the same seats for all of them. That would cost so much as a package.
God damn.
That guy that I mentioned, the green shirt guy, in the exact same place for everything again, as always.
What's crazy to me as well is like there's what do you call them? They're not booths. They're like special seating for like really big VIPs that are like their own boxed seating.
They never used to have that before.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like the you're on about like the skyboxes and stuff.
Yeah.
They had something extra on. This is what I forgot about.
Yeah.
The entranceway, which has got its own reveal video as well.
Of course.
Naturally. The entranceway is a person.
Yeah.
It had, like, I'm assuming VIPs, because one person, Logan Paul, when he was going past him, was like, they're rich. There was loads of people sitting on the stage, like in his little kind of area, and above the stage, on the stage. It was set up like a kind of building thing, so there was bits where people could...
Holy shit.
It's crazy, man. Like, the amount of money they put into it, the amount of money, though, that they must have made, I can't imagine.
That's what's crazy to me, though. There's some people out there who've got so much money that spending, like, that much, like tens of thousands, on 2 separate nights... is just, that's all right, that's nothing. That's
to them it's nothing.
It's just how I spend my money.
TKO generated 2.8 billion in revenue in 2024.
Fuck.
Damn, so 1.4 billion each.
Billion in revenue.
And that's just profit, ain't it? That's taken away, like you said, the amount they spend.
That's crazy.
Because like, when you get into billions and stuff, to make that every year is
That's
profit.
Mad. That is fucking mad, dude.
You can see why, though, TKO are now starting up. I think it is partly TKO. I know it's Dana White, and that, you know, the guy from that was done. What's his name again? He was at Wrestlemania, actually. Sheik Ali, Turkey Ali Sheik or something like that. One of the Crown Prince people in Saudi.
Yeah.
But he was at Mania. Him and like Dana White are starting up a new boxing company now. But from the looks of it, plenty of revenue just in TKO alone.
Yeah.
Because that's just last year. This year will be even more.
Yeah.
Goes up more and more every year. And they're still downsizing WWE from the takeover. Jesus. Man, the amount of... And then they're still, every year, dropping people for budget reasons.
Yeah.
And people complain, but I'm like, yo, you can complain. Because like, in wrestling culture, when you're talking about it on, like, the YouTube people talking about it on the little videos and that, they talk about it as if you should never fire a wrestler. It's like, yo, if a wrestler is either not doing good enough, he's not connecting.
He's not pulling in the crowd he requires.
Man, it's a business. Get rid of him. I know they don't have to.
Also, there's this thing of like...
Everything costs more money, though, right now, so everybody's still trying to get more profit, so they need to save even more money.
We live in a world where, like, you've got to show that you got more profits than last year every year, or you lose shareholders.
Yeah, because you're public trading.
They'll just sell their shares. They want to see that you are constantly growing in a world where it's impossible to constantly grow. And the only way they can do that,
years as well. They've got to keep doing that. Like I said, you've got to keep building on the growth.
Yeah, you've always got to have more growth than you did last year. You've always got to be growing. You've always got to have more money, more money, more money. You can't have a working business that just makes a certain amount of money. You have to make all of the money.
Yeah,
and that's everything now.
Which is a lot of why we're getting fucked. Like in going away from UFC and WWE. It's why we're getting screwed. From all the trade stuff. Is because all these companies still want to make the same.
They just
want to
make that
more.
fucking profit. They want to make that dollar.
I don't see how these bin strikes ever going to get sorted.
Yeah, no.
I really don't, man.
No.
It's another reason why we need to get the fuck out of Birmingham. Well, it's not you're not affected by it.
No, not at the moment.
Well, I need to get the fuck out of Birmingham.
Yeah, no, it's not a great place for sanitary reasons at the moment.
It's not a great place. It's a great place, but the thing I love about Birmingham is it's so in separate little bubbles in different areas. That's why it's not really a great community either. Yeah. Because there's so many different bubbles to it.
There's individual communities.
Yeah. It was always good for music because music was something that kind of broke through everything.
Yeah.
I think comedy is not so much. I kind of see why.
Comedy's a lot more subjective. You have to be of the same kind of mind as the person telling the joke.
I never really thought about that actually, but that's quite a good point actually, because there's so many different kinds of people in Birmingham, which is cool, but it's hard to have something that fits for everyone.
You don't have to have the same political thoughts as, say, fucking...
like the comic you're laughing at?
No, well, as let's say... I'm trying to think of an artist who's, a bit weird.
Prince, alive now.
Oh, Kanye West.
Kanye, there you go.
There's loads of people who like Kanye West's music, but they definitely disagree with the fact that the guy's a weird Nazi.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But when it comes to comedy, it's so ingrained in what you're saying, not just politically or even necessarily politically, but your worldview is so baked into what it is you're doing.
Yeah.
You can't sort of divide the two.
People find it a lot harder to anyway.
Yeah.
And especially if you're talking about opinions and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's hard to because you just split the crowd.
Yeah.
A lot of things. But
that's the way it is.
It is indeed the way it is. Anything else you want to go in then? Because we look like we're at the usual
Two half, that's not bad.
2 halfers.
Yeah.
Because I could go more into Wrestlemania, but I'm realising as I'm saying it, it's such a bubble of wrestling in my mind right now. Yeah. It's really hard to differentiate.
To sort of pull at the strings.
I've watched so much wrestling, it's a good job now that nothing until tomorrow, but that's only AEW, so that's not even real wrestling. Let's be honest, guys. So.
There's definitely people out there who've taken the weekend off to watch WrestleMania and shit like that.
Fucking should be, damn right.
Yeah.
Good that it came with Easter Sunday because you had a bank holiday weekend as well. Yeah. And they make a big point now by trying to make it more accessible for everyone around the world, because they said this is the first time where it was available around the globe at the same time for everyone instantly. Yeah. And it shows, because I didn't even realise that this is the first year where they haven't started it with a national anthem. They didn't do it.
Yeah.
Not once. Yeah. Tell you who, they had some musical people on. They had Slayer playing the one guy to the ring. It was the first time I liked his theme music. Yeah. Because I was like, okay, I like this now. It's a weird guitar at the beginning, but it kind of worked though. I thought his guitar was just off or something, because WWE haven't always had the best sound quality for artists and that.
Yeah.
They got better though now. They seem to have got better in everything, to be honest.
There are different art forms to miking different things for sure.
Yeah.
But
it was. Anyone that wasn't sure whether to watch it, it's on fucking Netflix. Just check out WrestleMania, it's good.
That shit out.
You don't need to watch anything before, because they explain every match has got a build-up video. They explain everything that's gone on. Yeah. So that's another thing to go into clean, and you're good. Yeah. You're bang. You should watch it. Yeah. You had a week off. Watch WrestleMania.
Watch WrestleMania. Yeah. I've got so many things I've got to watch.
Yeah, but that's
I've got to watch The Substance. That's a movie. It's fucking.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's a horror movie. It's pretty good apparently.
Wait, let me have a look at that.
The Substance.
Maybe is a good one to finish on. Because I know I recognise that.
Actually, what are these things again?
Cheesecake bars or cheese curd bars.
So I try one and see what.
I think it's generally cheesecake bars.
So I try this one.
Try what you want, man.
Try a blueberry one.
Try as many as you want. The substance. I feel like I might have.
So this is a cheesecake bar that we were handing.
Oh, it's an Amazon Prime one, even better. What is... Have you ever dreamt of a better version of yourself? You only better in every way. You got to try this new project. It changed my life. Oh, okay.
Honest, it's not great.
No. Try a different one. Feel free to try each one and just take a bite and destroy them.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't care, man. I'm not going to eat them, am I? I feel like I'm afraid celebrity takes a black market drug, a self-replicated substance.
Really dark chocolate with like... Blueberry. This is Pasaka cream cheese. Belgian chocolate bar.
Dennis Quaid as well. That's interesting. I might check that out myself. Might be one to do for the a movie club thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna try this one instead.
Let me know when you watch it, 'cause I'll try and watch it around the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, is this the same thing here? This can't be the same thing, is it?
No, that's Andor.
Oh, well, that looks interesting. Like I said, there's so much more Star Wars that I'm open to again at the moment. Right now, after that game, it's still the most open to Star Wars I am. So if I can find one of these that I like, that one looks a bit different. I like the look of that. That looks a bit more like, you know, what the vibe of the games you play.
Yeah.
You know, there's no Jedis, is there?
That's strange.
Is it?
It's not bad. That's the Majija. I don't think I want to have the other one. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, I'm sure it's lovely. But it just tastes like really sour cheese.
Really? That doesn't sound good.
Well, like cream cheese, like sour cheese. You know what I mean? It's like that slightly tangy flavour to it, and it's like I don't need an entire chocolate bar of that.
I need to figure out what's going on with this. Look, I can't change the size of the windows. But I'll figure it out for next time. But I was just putting on the thing for substance.
I'd say pause it.
What?
The substance.
Oh.
Yeah.
The audio isn't on.
I know, yeah.
I don't even know how.
But you want to break it up a little bit as well, so they don't. So basically, the idea is that she's. Do you want me to sort of tell you the plot?
Yeah, I did just read it a bit, but go ahead, because it's only a little thing.
Because literally, she gets offered this drug that she can take, and she sort of gives birth to a younger version of herself.
Oh, I didn't clock onto that part.
Yeah. And the younger version of herself then sort of takes over for the pair of them, and then she...
That's so much weirder than I thought then.
Yeah. And then it gets more and more fucked up, and like the younger version starts taking longer and longer.
Oh, is this I'm guessing that's the younger version there.
Yeah. Till eventually she starts taking control entirely, basically.
Yeah. That sounds very and it's not even a long film from the looks of it. I
Yeah,
I just thought it was only an hour and a half. You know, anything that's an hour and a half is worth watching.
Apparently, the most terrifying thing in the entire movie is Dennis Quaid eating fucking prawns.
I saw that on the trailer.
Yeah.
I think let's check out a bit of that.
Yeah.
Because I did see that on the trailer.
Oh, don't put the music on.
I won't put it. Yeah. I'll put it on, but as long as we're only on Rumble anyway, remember, we can't get fucked on.
That's right.
Oh,
yeah.
People always ask for something new. It's inevitable.
Just slopping it in butter.
Something new. It's inevitable.
Okay, yeah, the full scene of that I can imagine.
Well, it stops.
So yeah.
Like I can't remember who he was now. It might have been Lady Gaga or someone like that. They asked where is the Cannes Film Festival being held this year?
Yeah. I mean,
Cannes.
I'm
not gonna lie, the first time someone said it to me and I heard it, I didn't click on. Like, oh yeah. That looks good though, man. I like to look at that. Like,
yeah, it looks like a really interesting film.
Like you said, to be safe.
But I mean, you got to rent it on Prime. You can't just watch it at the moment.
Oh, is it quite new then? Is it?
Yeah. Okay. So it's like $5.49 to watch it.
There's always ways around that.
People know things. People know things.
I mean, I wouldn't say go on Project Free Movies, for example, because that'd be a wrong thing to say to someone. I would say don't do that. Personally.
Yeah, I would say not. Do that.
Like from a
personal perspective, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. Because
you can have your own ideas.
They can. if that's one of their ideas, then I get it. But I'd say don't
It's
do
not
it.
our idea.
Just the royal we.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I guess that's been squishy logic for this week.
I
don't
guess
wanna eat
indeed.
any more of those.
You
I don't even.
cakes. Remember, that's why I brought them in for you.
Oh, there are cakes.
I brought them fucking
Should I have a cake?
Have as many as you want, man.
Do I have a cake? I don't need a cake right now on stream though.
I've had to finish it anyway. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's been squishy logic for this week.
It
I
has
guess.
indeed. We have taught you all about the sexual
sex from around the world.
from around the world.
Getting down.
Getting down and dirty in different ways, and
I mean, we
I feel
found
like
out some interesting shit.
I feel like I have for anybody that out there watching this that I don't know is very prim and proper.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for them from this episode.
What's interesting is that we did find in quite a lot of situations there were older women going like, "Hey, you young hot man, you fuck me, and I tell you how to do it, and then you can go and get a wife, but definitely fuck me first."
And I think we also found out that I was sexually assaulted as a child.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, tiny
But the
bit.
acceptable kind.
Yeah, the kind that doesn't scar you for life.
To be fair, no.
So that's probably the
In a
best
good way.
kind.
Yeah, well, I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that would definitely
Yeah,
be the best
That's
kind.
definitely the best kind. So,
The technical sexual assault, but I'm okay with it.
I mean, what's a little bit of sexual assault between friends?
There you go. There you go. And she was a friend. She was a friend.
Oh God! Right. Anyway, that's been squishy logic for this week. Stay squishy.
And forever be logical, my bubbly buddies.
Bye.
And follow, like, subscribe. We
Yeah.
start pushing that.
Yeah, we do.
Do that.
Do those things.
Cool.
Thank you.